Adventures! And welcome to the 61st episode of Dirty 20, an evening of laughter, drama and adventure that we call D&D Podcast. Desire your Dungeon Master for the evening, and once again I'm joined by my colourful cast of characters. You'll see that as of right now, we don't have Hayden, but he'll be joining us hopefully shortly. But yeah, before we begin, does anyone have anything interesting, anything to promote or going on?
The Edge of the Empire game on Natural Wonders.
Oh yeah, we did our first game of that on this Thursday that's just passed. That was a lot of fun, and we're going to be picking that up again next Thursday. Sam, do you want to throw that in the chat? That cheeky link.
I'll chuck it, the link in the chat.
I probably should make a command for that, but I forgot. I will be honest, I forgot. Okay. Other than that, do we have anything else, or are we ready to begin?
Selfish proclamation. It's my birthday on Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday for Wednesday coming.
Thank you very much. There you go.
You'll be a year older the next time we play.
Don't remind me.
I get to tell all the embarrassing stories.
I knew that was half of what day it is, but sure.
Well, I guess then, without further ado, let's delve into today's episode of The Dirty 20.
So filthy, won't ever.
Hello and welcome back. So, previously on Dirty 20, with the party's arrival in Porta Minor, all seemed to be going to plan. A meeting with the Queen in the books and a ship chartered for Deep Bay in your name. Alas, trouble never follows too far behind Fera Carta. During the blessing of the new steamship, an explosion rocked the town, sending people scattering to their homes. The town locked down. To your surprise, the Queen still agreed to your audience and you made your difficult case. Though unsure of the results, the Queen at least seemed confident to confide in her new Knights of Val-Aeria. She told you of 4 suspects she believed could be involved in the destruction of the vessel. Before you could leave the town hall, you were met by Lord Nico, taking you to the gardens for privacy. He explained that you had allies in the court, just ones that could not reveal themselves. He spoke of a change that was coming, whether the Queen or her court liked it. Fearful of being overheard, he made his leave, as did you. One night of passion later, you considered your plan of action. In order to cover more ground, you decided to split up and investigate in pairs. Splitting the party. When has that ever gone wrong? Gaiac and Storm headed to the dry dock, where the ship was constructed. Both the ledger and the testimony of the quartermaster revealed that Conroy had made an appearance the day before the explosion to inspect the ship. Meanwhile, Arya and Alistair broke into Leah Thandis' room to search for clues. a letter warning Leo to stop speaking out against the Queen, as well as a locked chest full of documents revealing a decrease in Leo's business value. As the door began to open, Alistair turned them both invisible, watching Leo for an hour before using the mountback cape to bamf out of the room. Alistair and Kensei went to find Sven, a disgraced warrior from the Drakenloft Isles. After a heavy confrontation, Alistair was able to reveal her identity to him, to which he kneeled in respect, swearing fealty. He agreed to help where he could. As the others made their way back to the inn, Gaiac and Storm arrived at the town hall, whereby guards move in a quickened fashion up the stairs to where the quarters are positioned. One turns and moves towards the pair. Stating their intentions, he replies, "Unfortunately, the town hall is on lockdown. Someone has tried to assassinate Leothandus. You are the new Cavalieri, no? The Queen has instructed us to let you work freely, but until we can assess the threat, the captain has ordered all VIPs to be secured under guard. But perhaps your assistance could be of use. The sooner we understand the situation, the sooner you can get on with your work."
Well,
What say you?
of course, if Leothandus has been tried to be assassinated, we will surely help him for who did it.
Yes, could you guide us to his room?
Yes, I can. We're all headed there now. Please follow me, and keep an eye out for anything suspicious. So, Gaiac and Storm, are you following the guards
Yeah?
Yeah.
upstairs? Okay. So, following this group of guards, you head up the stairs and round to the back portion of the town hall. You've not been up here yet, but there are doors after doors after doors of quarters, and you follow one round and you see two guards stationed outside. The guards head over, kind of give an indication of something, and then they unlock the door and the group makes their way inside with you in tow.
What
So,
and this is Leothandus' room. Yeah.
you believe it to be. You see in front of you as you walk in a aging-looking man with short, wavy, dyed black hair, with these kind of very prominent golden eyes. He has a round and pretty face despite his age, and this kind of little short moustache, and with a slightly tanned complexion. He seems to be sat in an armchair that has been moved from the window towards a desk, and he sit there quite impatiently, kind of tapping his cross-legged and kind of impatiently rocking his leg as it rests on the other, with a tumbler of a dark liquid in one hand and kind of just like tapping the glass impatiently. The group enters with you following, and they begin to kind of make their way around the room, beginning to search through, just taking a look. The individual that talked to you steps up to the person you believe to be Leothandus and says, "Minister, we have been informed that something took place in this room. Perhaps you can give us any details that you remember." Leothandus, who at this point is kind of looking off to the side, still this impatient look on his face, turns quite sharply towards the guard. "Well, I came to my room and found that my private possessions had been rummaged through. I sat and had a drink, and then there was a puff of smoke and the smell of something something burning. It is strange. That is all I remember. And the guard kind of looks at him curiously. You mean to say that you waited? You saw that someone had broken into your room and you waited to inform us. How curious. Listen, I was considering the implications of what had been rummaged through. This is private information. I did not think that whoever would have looked through might still be here. As you can see, it's not exactly a room that people could hide particularly well in. The guard begins to kind of look him over. And just takes out a small notebook and begins to write some details down. Gaiak and Storm, what would you like to do? The others are kind of like rummaging through, like lifting up the bed sheet, people looking behind the curtains, trying the window frame. They seem to be doing an investigation of their own.
We have 100% seen Aria use the cloak, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, she
literally used it to save you. You are also aware that they went to go and see Leothandus.
Yeah.
Like, you know that they went to see Leothandus. I think you could definitely put two and two together here. The information that you've been given, it's well within your knowledge.
Pull Storm slightly out of the room. I think we both know what happened here.
Indeed, this too. Smell. Describe.
It seems that they may not take the town hall off of lockdown until they find a solution.
Well, let's not be too hasty. Assuming this, maybe Conroy is still here.
You two.
Yes.
And you see the guard who was taking down notes kind of turns towards you, seeing you kind of talking amongst yourselves. Do you have a theory here?
We are just discussing options.
The only thing is, so the Leothandus was not attacked. You claimed it to be an assassination. Maybe you're looking in the wrong places.
I'm inclined to agree. From the information that we have been given, we were told that someone had broken into the room, and Leothandus himself called that he had an attempt on his life, but it looks like that is not the case here. What this looks like is that rather than an assassin, it was a thief that was caught. The evidence seems to lean towards a burglary that went wrong rather than an assassination. They had an opportunity to kill you, Leothandus, and yet you still breathe. That said, we cannot be sure, and there is a chance that this is linked to the explosion. So to be safe, you will have a guard on you at all times.
If I
No,
may.
I do not need a babysitter. I do not need a babysitter. Leothandus, this is an order. You cannot order me. I am a minister. I do not need a babysitter. And they kind of just go off at each other a little bit. They begin to descend into an argument.
Is there a guard that's not arguing that I can quietly talk to?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few guards in here.
We came here to have a conversation with Conroy.
See.
He will, is he under protection at the moment? Do you know where he is?
At this moment, all members of court are being kept safe in their rooms until we can further assess the situation and determine that it is safe for everyone to leave. and walk freely.
Would it at all be possible that we could speak with Conroy?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Ooh!
Nice.
Ooh!
It is highly unusual. The captain has said that all ministers are to be locked down, but we also have orders from the Queen, and her orders come first. Lieutenant, I am going to be taking our guests here to Conroy's room. And he kind of like is in the middle of this argument with Leothandus. See. I'm telling you, you are going to be under guard. There is no way that we can afford to risk you losing your life here. It is my job to ensure that you are safe.
God.
Leothandus kind of slinks into his chair, takes a deep glug from his drink and begins to pour another one. At this point you can see there's the hints of inebriation coming through.
The man literally says there's been an attempt on his life, and then is like, I don't need a guard.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
As he kind of like, Leah just kind of slunks into his chair, the lieutenant now turns and walks over to you and this other guard. Very well. If you feel that this is urgent, then you may indeed see Conroy, but I must insist that you are under watch at the same time. It is nothing against you, but it is our jobs. And from this moment, every minister and member of court is to be escorted by at least 2 guards when leaving their rooms. Am I understood, men? And everyone, aye. Good.
Thank you. We understand completely, and may the winds blow in your favor.
Be seeing you. He turns and begins to kind of gather his guards to take further information. Please, if you would follow me.
I'm gonna follow.
Follow, yeah.
Okay. So, this guard, who's wearing this very, the same armour that you've seen these elite guards wear. They are like in full plate with long cloaks, with the symbol of their loom on the back. They are decked out. These guys are decked out.
The drip.
And she is going to just lead you down the hall, and you can see there are a few guards positioned out some of the doorways, which you take to be like maybe other court members' rooms. A few minutes later, she arrives outside a door. 2 guards there. These 2 are cavaliers of the court. They are here to see Sir Conroy Macleod. They kind of look at each other. I knock on the door. A few moments go by and you hear a voice. Enter. She opens the door. Sir Macleod, there are 2 cavaliers of the court here to see you. And she kind of steps in and holds the door open for you to step inside.
Okay. I'm gonna go in.
I'm gonna practice. It probably won't look very good, but I'll practice a little like. Oh no, no, I won't bow to him.
Okay. As you stand there considering whether to bow or not, kind of going. The guard turns to the 2 outside, and you see her kind of whisper something to them, and they begin to step into the room as she kind of nods to you and closes the door in her leave, and they kind of just flank the door.
So are they in the room with us?
They are now in the room with you. I mean, based on what you heard the conversation from beforehand, you take it that she's informed them that they need to stay within the room whilst you are in there.
Okay.
Stood before you, you see a kind of slender individual with shoulder-length blonde hair and a single braid that goes down the back, kind of Celtic. He wears a blue and green robed clothing over what you take to be maybe plate armor. Yeah, that's what you see stood before you, and he's kind of got this this blonde 5 o'clock shadow you've seen a couple of people have, and he kind of just stands there, looks at you, kind of observing. A drink, perhaps? And he makes his way over to a glass cabinet. And you can see now as you look around the room, the room is virtually identical to that of Leothandus's. And you expect that most of the rooms are probably like copy and paste furnishings and architecture. Kind of walks over, opens the glass cabinet.
Only if you have some water.
Of course, water.
I am okay, thank you.
Any wine? Just me then. Takes out a bottle.
Conroy McKeer.
That was a terrible pop. Let me do that better. Pops open a cork. Takes himself a glass and takes a chug from one of the tables and pours it into a flagon and hands it to you, Storm. So, what do I do? What do I owe the pleasure of this meeting?
Mr. Conroy McKeer, I am Gaiak, and this is my associate Storm.
I know of you.
We are here under orders of the Queen to investigate the events that transpired yesterday. We thought it was natural to start with members of her court. I wondered if you had any information that you may be able to provide to us.
This wouldn't have anything to do with the fact that I am a diplomat from the Kingdom of David, would it?
I assure you that we will be talking to every member of the court.
Roll me a deception check.
Where is... Oh, there we go. I use this so little. Oh, that's not good.
Okay. I appreciate the attempt to make me feel at ease, but you are clearly not well versed in the ways of courtship. I take it then it is indeed because I am from the Kingdom of David.
Truth be told, this is not the only reason we came. You see, it is partly because you are from David, and that we keep company with, as you know, somebody else from David. But we are here to ask you a question about what you may know about the ship. But at the same time, we were hoping to hear if you still have any sway, being an emissary from David, because we will be traveling there after another place.
I have my fair share of sway. Indeed. I was tasked directly by the king to come to this court and ensure the interests of my kingdom. And likewise, my position in the David court was taken up by one of Queen Cecilia's ambassadors. Consider it an exchange to ensure diplomacy.
What is your relationship like with Cecilia?
she is a glamorous woman.
Inside check.
I
Absolutely,
also
go
want to
ahead.
insight check that.
Okay. Okay, Storm. I mean, it's so difficult. Like this insight shit. This court shit is just not something you've had to deal with, and it's a little bit hard to tell who's bullshitting and who's not. Gaiak, you two, you don't have a great deal experience dealing with court stuff. However, you get the impression that he's being very careful with the words that he's using.
Guy's been taking notes from out of strain. I believe I asked what your relationship with her was like.
I make my position very clear here in the court. I am here for the interests of my kingdom, and I am open about that. She invited me into her court. That's all I have to say.
Of course. But back onto the matter at hand.
Are you sure you don't wish to have a drink?
100%.
I feel that I am a poor host to not offer you a beverage.
Perhaps something small.
Small? A whiskey, a vodka, glass of wine? The selection here is not quite, it's not quite top shelf, but...
Gaiak's a cosmopolitan drinker.
What do you recommend?
Kind of places his wine glass down and walks over to the cabinet. What kind of poison do you like?
I am not very versed in alcohol, I must admit.
Something perhaps a little lighter then. How about a Chardonnay?
Of course.
Takes a bottle and pours it into a kind of a... The glass is almost like a small bowl.
It's going to be very hard to drink out with a beak.
Yeah, and like you, as he hands it to you, you go to take a sip, like, doom, doom. You're not sure if that was a purposeful decision or not.
As I'm failing to drink out of it, I want to insight check him, see how he's reacting to watching me.
Okay, roll an insight check.
And while you do, I'll ask him. Conroy,
Finds it funny.
we are of the understanding that Dyfed is a place of pilgrimage in terms of the church here. It has high religious sway.
It is indeed, our faith is important to us.
I wonder, why is it you are not more threatened by what Foy Ford have done in Bellingham?
I am anxious about their advances. However, they spread themselves thin.
Like insight, I don't know there's too much, but just that he's anxious or not. He's truly anxious about their
Okay, sure. No, 100%. You can roll an insight on that. They're kind of when you're asking different questions and they're like, and you're kind of looking at specific kind of intentions. You can re-roll those.
Yeah.
You can roll for insight, but if you're asking basically the same thing over and over, then it's like, well,
Yeah, you just try to get re-roll. Yeah.
But you're trying to gauge different emotions. Like, think of it as a change of, think of it as like, oh, this is an event. His objective has changed, or something to that degree, or his inner monologue. acting terms. That's what we spent 27k on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in some of our cases, a little bit fucking more.
Well,
Anywho. Sorry, what was the question again?
if he's really anxious about 44 or not.
Okay, with that insight, I'd say he's got quite a poker face. But at the same time, there is an openness about him where you can see that there is discomfort at the mention of Foifor. Like there's a bit of a kind of a shudder of sorts. But like he's not breaking down.
It just seems to me that you are not as anxious as you should. Surely, a new religion marching down on lands that you could be next. I thought you would be mobilizing to defend the faith.
Honestly, I do not condone the practices that Foyfort have enacted, I suppose is the correct way of saying that. I imagine many of the people in the coast are, as you say, anxious of their advances. However, the Foyfortians are far south from the kingdom of David. They would have to traverse through the Raven's Range, the Raven Woods, to make it to our kingdom, or even to Verloom. They would have to traverse through the Clanlands, which is not an easy feat. It is rife with banditry, clans, non-humans, monsters. Trying to push an army through such a region would be difficult. So forgive me if I am not overly fearful of their presence. They will inevitably stretch themselves too thin. As for Bellinor, their kingdom is weak, pathetic, quite honestly, as almost everyone in the north would tell you. The silver glades were lined with fools. They did little to strengthen their borders. In addition to that, they allowed in these non-humans, allowed them to...
So you are as callous as you make out.
I work with what I am presented with. You seem civilized, and clearly there are exceptions to the rule. However, it is no... Forget it.
What are your thoughts on what we propose to Cecilia?
Are you here to try and sway me onto your side?
I ask because one of our next stops will be David.
I admire the tenacity of wanting to liberate the lands of Bellinor. I agree with pushing the Foyfortians back. However, this talk of magic is dangerous.
I believe you confuse tenacity with hope.
Might I ask, were you born and raised on the coast?
No, I was not.
And you?
Neither I. But I see a plight here that I have known all my life. We're not.
Then might I ask? A blight. So you pity?
I pity the people of Eleanor. How they are subjected to an army that has torn through them and laid waste to
The
their
people of Bellinor will grow to live in their new kingdom, or it will fall apart, as I suspect.
You don't.
I just find it curious that two individuals that were not born and raised in our lands are so very concerned with who rules it.
It wasn't for us and our party. Ravenwood would have fallen to a nefarious force. That is why we are Val-Aeria.
And if magic did not exist, there would be nothing to save it from.
Cannot just wipe away magic. Not as simple as that.
We can try.
And you will fail and be subjected to those that use it. This world is bigger than the restless coast, you know.
It is useless speaking in hypotheticals. Magic does exist, and if you ignore it, you will inevitably fall to it. Magic has a bad side, but it can be used for good. You fight fire with fire.
I trust in the miracles of the gods.
Miracles, magic, they're all
Not
the same.
illusionary tricks.
Are you saying that if what happened in Ravenwood was to happen here tonight, you would rather we would not help?
What you're presenting here is a false equivalency, friend.
My point is still valid.
We would find a way. We have for centuries.
Of course. I would like to move the conversation back to the matter at hand.
I think that would be for the best. You can sense from him now. There is a level of distance.
Were you involved at all with the building, preparing, surveying of the ship?
Not at all.
Never. Not at all.
It is not my area of interest. Of course, I am interested, on behalf of my kingdom, to know what advancements Verloom is taking, but I've never been quiet about that. I myself have not been able to inspect the ship. I was hoping that on its return voyage I might be able to spend some time on it, but
I want
alas.
to insight check him, saying that he's had nothing to do with it.
Okay, roll an insight check.
There we go.
He's very, very open, and even though he's being specific with his words, there was a change in tone, especially after the conversation you've just had. There's a change in tone where he seems more willing to talk, where, like he's spilling a little bit more. And in that openness, you don't get any kind of inclination that he has lied about what he's just said. It's almost like this idea of, I want to get past that conversation and talk about something else. And so he's been actually a little bit more open.
Okay. So you say you never stepped foot on the ship?
I have not. Why?
Well, we were just curious about why you visited it the day before.
Yes, we were told you inspected it. Your name was in the records.
Kind of takes half a step back and places his glass down on the table. Who exactly do you work for?
We work for the Queen.
I see. Where exactly did you get this information?
It was easy to gain access. We simply visited the docks and there it was.
They confirmed your entry through eye and writing.
And you're sure that this isn't some sort of ploy by the Queen who asked you to make sure that evidence led back to me, so that I was implicated in this? That would be highly foolish of her.
That would not
Once
benefit
again.
her. So why would she do that?
Perhaps she wishes to no longer be in my court, wishes I to be in her court, and she is looking for an excuse to have me removed.
As we said, it was not only your name in the records. You were seen.
I see that you are stuck to this fiction of yours.
No fiction.
As I told you, I had nothing to do with the construction of this ship, nor have I stepped foot in it once. So coming to me with this fictional information is not only an insult, but one might even suggest treason. So before you take this any further, might I ask you to consider the implications of what you are saying?
Might I ask you to consider your implications against the Queen?
The next stop is the Queen after this, so it would be better if you were just to tell the truth.
If you continue this fictional line of inquiry, you will have made a grave enemy of the Kingdom of David. I warn you.
Why?
Do you wish to see a war between these two kingdoms?
This is the last thing we want. All we ask is for your cooperation. We are not blaming you. We wish to know why you were there.
I have informed you. I have not stepped foot on that ship. I think that you have overstepped your boundaries here. I'd like them to leave this room immediately. The guards are kind of like, the whole time during this conversation, have been kind of looking at each other, and one of them steps forward and the other one kind of puts his hand up on the guard's chest. What do we do? I don't know. If what they're saying is true, then perhaps he... Congratulations. You little pawns have done your job. You have successfully implicated me in this endeavor. I'm sure your queen will be so proud of you.
I think you are merely not confronting the truth of why you were there.
Oh. When the truth comes out, and it shall, you will have to sit with the consequences of what you have done here this day.
The consequences of what we have done. We merely asked you a question.
Nay, you implicated a member of the High Court in an act of what could be considered treason, sabotage, crimes against the crown itself, and you so carelessly accuse me in my own chambers.
You have a lot to defend. You're defending yourself for something you haven't done. Quite furiously. We are just reporting to you our findings. Not outwardly blaming you. You're the one pointing fingers at yourself. Now, if we can work together, if you have been implicated, to find out who, then would that not be the more concise way to deal with this?
And how do I know this isn't some blackmail attempt? Come to my chambers, accuse me of crimes against the crown, and then use that fictional information, that's this fictional evidence that you speak of, to try and coerce me to your side. Now it all makes sense why you are asking me about magic.
Evidence is in no way fictional. If it was not you, then
present it before me.
Will you not help,
immediately?
Will you not help us get to the bottom of it?
Say I did. What is it you would ask of me?
We just want to find the truth. Perhaps you may put a good word in for us in the Kingdom of David.
Blackmail.
It is not blackmail. I merely ask a favor for a favor.
Maybe you call it something else in the East, where despicable crimes are more common and acceptable, but here in the civilized West, we do not accept that.
Do the conversation. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
In the
He's
East,
not listening.
we do not crucify and hang people in the streets like they have done in Bellinor. Much more civilized ways.
Perhaps if you check your history books, you will find that that is probably not the case.
That's the point. History. Maybe it happened in history, but it still happens on the coast. That's why I don't understand why you're not more concerned.
Concerned with what, exactly? With what you presented before me? About some stupid war with Foyfort?
I really fucking hate this guy.
Well, that was what I was talking about, yes. War. Do you not think that this maybe is something that they would want to divide Verloom and David, so it would be easier? Are you that?
Well, it would seem to me the only one dividing currently are the two creatures stood before me, implying that I have...
Creatures!
Indeed. Yes.
I've had enough of your tongue.
And I've had enough of your lies. Where are the humans in your group? I wish to speak with ones who actually know how to behave.
Oh my god.
Clearly your ways in the East,
Jeez.
your ways in the East are barbaric if you cannot have civilized conversation.
I have met dogs more civilized than you. And I'm gonna turn and leave.
I'll see you when they read you your rights. And I leave as well.
Oh.
As you kind of walk out the room, you hear him kind of retort. They may read my rights, but regardless of whether you speak the truth or not, I will not remain incarcerated for long. And on that day that I am released, the king will hear of this.
God! Fuck.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
I was gonna kill
I
him.
mean,
I was gonna fireball him.
I was tempted to like do something, but
I wanted to.
just saying, low key, you walked into his room and accused him.
Yeah, I know.
I know,
Like,
but like
he is gonna lash out. But to be fair, was that necessarily a bad decision? He seemed to be a little bit more
we learned
loose-lipped.
a lot from that. Well, they did anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you know,
Let us get back. I'm saying this guy. I'm worried about one thing though. This is the
Yeah.
case. We have revealed our magnum opus per se. He could try and destroy the records of himself ever being there, if it is not fabricated. That is.
This is true. Is there any way you know that we could preserve it?
I have had one thought, but it would merely look like another illusion. That is like, I remember it and I can conjure up the image of that, but it would just be seen as
Fabrication.
fabrication. Yes. Maybe you
It-
might have to go back and steal it.
so Gaiak, Storm, what are your thoughts? What are you wanting to do?
It was a very interesting conversation.
I think we should go back to. I think I'm gonna head back to the. Oh wait, are we allowed to leave now?
There are, a fair amount of guards patrolling the halls, and you can see them stationed outside doors. But no one there stopping you from leaving. You get the impression that it's in a heightened state, but not a complete lockdown. But only certain individuals are allowed to enter and leave, and you guys being one of those.
Okay. Shall we recuperate with the group?
I think that could be wise. We'd have to keep in mind about the records being wiped, though.
Mm-hmm. I think we may have a large time frame. He is currently guarded in his room.
But we cannot rule out that he could have been framed. That he had a lot to defend himself for. That's for sure.
Yes, I agree.
And yeah, we'll just head back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the time is around 1 o'clock in the afternoon now, and you guys reconvene in the Crossblades Inn. Let's bring you back onto this map. Yeah, you guys reconvene at the Crossblades Inn, and as you do so, is there anything you wish to do?
Aria found a stray cat and is now stroking it.
There is now a stray cat at the tavern table.
Immersion!
I'm gonna.
You can see now, like as you guys come in, you have to struggle to get a table. Like there's quite a few people coming in to have lunch, and there's the smell of warm meat and soup, and rice dishes. The air is filled with a lot of spice right now, and those of you that are still not used to it, the air catches in your throat. But yeah, you can see people kind of beginning to have dinner, and in fact, lunch even. And as you head on in, you can see two people like hashing it out in the fighting pit, and poof, there's a final hit, and one guy just drops down.
Poor guy. Yeah, I would think we're just gonna head into the inn and hope that the rest of the party's there, or
Okay.
Oh, cutie.
So, you guys are all there. If you wish to be, that is. Kind of a crowded table. It's not exactly private, so you might want to do whatever you want to do.
Aria
Is your room again?
Aria and Alistair.
Mm.
I hear you may have had a very interesting morning.
Certainly did. How about you?
It has been eventful.
So, who should start first? What did we all learn?
Are we going to discuss this matter in a crowded place? This is
You
the
can go
first
upstairs
question.
if you wish.
Yes,
Yes.
I think we should.
Mhm.
I want to look around in case there's anyone watching us, anyone
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
outside
Can I
the
join?
windows.
Sure, roll a perception
Can I
check.
join on that?
Those of you who wish to look around.
Yeah, I mean, Guy's legally blind, but I'll still have a look.
We've revealed our cards a little bit. Oh, yes.
Oh, that's good.
Guy, I can
Okay, so
Oh, wow.
as you look around, looking around the tavern space, you can see it's crowded in here. People are kind of looking, and some people are very nosy, and Guy, you can see they're kind of like leaning back, eating like whatever it is they're eating, a little taco, and they're kind of leaning back and listening in.
Yep, go upstairs for sure.
Is it more of like they're that weird group that have been in town, or is it kind of like we want to hear what we want to like listen in?
We want to hear. Like we heard something like these weird
Yeah.
people, and they're
Yeah.
talking secretly.
Go, definitely go upstairs. Oh,
Okay, so you guys are able to head up to your room.
oh. Close the curtains.
Actually, no, you're not. You need to buy your rooms again if you
Oh
want to stay.
no.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You've used it. You bought it around this time yesterday.
Alright.
I think maybe it might have been a bit later.
Alright then. How much is it?
So it is, if I remember correctly, it is. I think it's 5 silver pieces. If that's, I might have made it a little bit higher than that. I
Yeah,
would say
sure.
5 silver. 5 silver per room.
Per
Why did
room.
we choose a cheaper tavern?
Do you know of any other cheaper taverns?
I would
There's
have
one tavern in the whole bloody town, I swear.
There is another one.
My mistake.
Have
A
we
musty,
seen the
musty
other one?
monk. I mean, yeah, you were in the town square.
Did it look?
The other one is the musty monk.
Does it
Oh
look
no,
like,
no, not
Does
Musty
it look
Monk.
run down compared to this one, or does it look a little bit fancy?
It looks like a London pub.
Ah.
That's the best way. That's the best analogy I can give. Like this kind of. I mean, as you know, it's got that Verlamese design to it, with plaster walls and kind of this red brick foundation,
Yeah.
and a light roof. But it's got these brown tinted frosted windows,
If
Okay.
it's
and
changed,
the interior that you've seen a little bit of is kind of that London pub vibe.
if a change of scenery would make people feel a bit more comfortable, then perhaps we could move. I doubt there'll still be suspicious people looking at us.
Just be wasting time.
Let's just
Yep,
stay
let's just buy the
here.
rooms, yeah. Is it
I will
okay?
have-
So should we just get 2? And that's only 2
I don't want to
silver.
share a room with anyone other than Aria. I don't
Well,
know
like
if you
a
want anybody
sleepover.
else.
Alright,
Why don't
okay.
What's
you
going on
run and have a
there?
sleepover?
I mean, look, you can just put a bag over someone's head and just get them to sleep in the corner. It's fine.
Oh no!
Alright, okay,
That sounds
15
like...
silver then.
Okay.
I don't
two
have any
two
coin.
silver each. I'll get you a storm.
15 divided by...
I'll pay for mine and Aria's room.
I...
I'm a gentleman.
Oh, okay, well, thank you very much. I feel so special. Finally got the sugar daddy.
How much have we got left to pay? How much is left to pay?
And I've seen Asrin's character sheet as well, and how much money she has. So it's even funnier.
Can that be a new perk that Asrin has, Sugar Daddy?
I'm a bougie bitch.
You guys are all talking about stuff, and then Asrin just pulling out like fat wads.
Sorry, you guys. She say you wanted me to pay. No, not me. Bye.
I'll pay the final 5 silver.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, with that, you are able to head up to one of the rooms and have a discussion in a what you believe to be a bit more of a private setting.
Who goes first? How about the people who...
Well, I'm interested to hear the interesting story that Geigen Storm has.
Alright, you go first.
Well,
Of course.
Wait,
so
let me get comfortable. Okay.
It wasn't as bad as you may expect it to actually. It was quite fruitful.
Yes, we at first headed down to the dry docks. We had a very interesting discovery. Conroy McKeer's name was in the books, and apparently he had been to inspect the ship.
A day prior.
Interesting.
We decided that it would be a good idea to go and talk to Conroy. So we headed to the town hall, where, strangely enough, apparently someone had tried to assassinate Leothandus. There was a puff of
Really?
smoke.
Oh, that-
smell
that's
of
There is
burning.
an assassin
That is
on the
really
loose?
strange.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Maybe it's the same one after you, Aria. Maybe it's the same ones.
Oh my gosh, what did it is? The same ones? Oh my god.
Yes, I will pretend for now that I don't know that it was. That I don't know. Who it
The of these lands are such drama queens. Carry on.
was.
I mean, we don't know anyone who tried to assassinate Leothandus.
Couldn't be me.
Well,
No, you
all
don't
I
understand.
know
We
from-
don't know anyone that tried to assassinate Leothandus.
I get what you're saying, can say. Carry on, guys.
No, I was mainly worried about Storm.
increasing time here, it's making me realize I care less and less for its inhabitants. They are all very, very backward.
That is an understatement.
There's a difference between the inhabitants and the royalty.
Well,
From
that in
when you spoke to Leothandus, what was he like?
Wait. Did you guys have anything else to say, or is that pretty much it?
well, we can.
Oh, I just assumed that they had spoken to Leothandus.
Oh
if they'd
yes, did
spoken
you
to somebody that
bump
wasn't
into him?
what
We
they
had
were tasked with.
we had a very brief interaction with Leothandus. He described the puff of smoke and the strange smell of burning.
It's very strange. Strange times we live in.
But we very quickly moved on to Conroy, and he was interesting man.
What kind of vibe did you get from him?
Entitled, callous, racist.
You didn't tell him
Racist.
about what you saw, did you?
About what?
About the evidence about him on the boat.
It may have come out.
Well, of course he's going to appear callous. You just implicated him in the murder of a queen. Or the attempted murder.
Did he seem defensive?
He was extremely defensive, denied it all, threatened
Before
us.
even we'd mentioned that his name in the book, he was defensive.
Yes.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this for the relationship between us and David? Or this kingdom and David?
I would estimate an 11.
Yes, I would.
Oh, but please, he's just an emissary. How much power can he really hold? If he's here in Valoom as an exchange, can't be that valuable. They wouldn't send one of their most valuable members unless they're completely stupid.
If a person from Dayford is implicated in a crime that he did not commit, or there is no evidence that he committed, that is an act of war. That is no longer a person who is close to the Queen, that is a prisoner.
Whoops.
While we're discussing all this very important stuff, can I just cast
my
Detect Magic real quick? Ewan.
Sorry, yes.
While we're discussing all of this very important information, I'm just going to do a quick Detect Magic in the room.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just see if anything comes up, I don't know.
Sure. Cast Detect Magic.
Hey, it's okay though, guys, because between those interactions, we only managed to cause one diplomatic incident, so...
When you implicated him in, or didn't implicate him, was there anyone around who heard you, or heard you give the evidence?
We merely presented our evidence to him and gave him the opportunity to tell us what had happened, and there may have been 2 other guards in the room, but...
Right, listen, this doesn't have to be something that is catastrophically bad if we don't immediately go to the Queen with this information. We need hard and fast evidence.
Wait a minute.
We could torture him for information, but
When you told him
how does
when you told him this information, did he lie about where he was, or did he simply say that he didn't do it?
He
chose his carefully. He chose his words very carefully and said he had nothing to do with the ship and never went to the ship.
He didn't say that he was off doing something else.
He denies everything. Denies ever stepping foot.
He also accused the Queen of trying to blame him.
An emissary of David with the Queen of the Loom after him. That is a fantastical tale.
But this is important. He didn't make up a lie that he was off doing something else or taking care of other business, or that there were other people who could verify his location.
No, he merely denied it.
Gave no alibi.
I don't think he did it.
Why?
Because if this was an elaborately orchestrated plan for him to blow up the boat, he would have come up with a convincing alibi to make sure that there were people concretely that could say he was nowhere near it. The fact that he simply denied it means that he didn't have time to invent a fabrication, and that you confronted him with information that he was equally unaware of.
We did try.
He wouldn't have to invent a fabrication if he was just elsewhere.
Yeah. I feel like that makes him more guilty if he doesn't have an alibi.
If he does have an alibi, he would have defended himself and told you. Unless, is he married?
I have no idea.
My point is that he would have to come up with an alibi if he didn't expect to have to come up with one. If he had a story prepared, then I would find him more suspicious, but he was caught just
It's not that difficult to just tell somebody where you were. Here is my theory. I don't believe that Conroy is explicitly involved, but I do think that he has some involvement with this. I believe that the ship blowing up is a signal more than anything. I believe that it's a warning sign from whoever has plotted this.
I'm going to hold you there for a second, just because, Aria, how does I just want to know, because you were detecting magic, right? Were you doing it as a ritual, or because your thing allows you just to do it
I
infinitely,
can just cast
right?
it. Will. Yeah.
Okay. What is the flavour of your detect magic? Sorry, Alice Reed.
No.
It's just I want to make
It's
sure
okay.
before you'll understand maybe.
That's fine. Yeah, my eyes will go the black and red colour that they always go when I use my magic, and oh god, I haven't actually thought about this. Let me just see if I can make something on the spot. Maybe some kind of like red glowy kind of arcane symbols kind of just appear like around my eyes when I do it as well. Kind of like a little, like a quick flash.
Okay. So your vision goes into this like dark and almost like dark red and almost black misty vision. Like it's like looking at other waves of light, that sort of vision. You're looking beyond the visual optic, and immediately you see what appears to be a kind of orb of light about 15 foot away from you, hovering inside the room.
Fuck.
And you detect a divination school of magic from it.
Oh, that's arcane eye. I bet, or something like that.
Okay, just so we're clear, that detect magic, I think, can only do objects, right? It's not like see invisibility. So does it still work?
It does still work.
Okay, right. Well, before we said
it doesn't just do objects.
I kind of
you can sense invisible creatures, I believe, with it.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong.
Okay.
Well, that's how I'm gonna use it. That's how I'm gonna use it because I think that makes sense.
I thought maybe because it can detect schools of magic. I don't know. It might work similar, but I don't know.
No, you would detect it for the length of time that you have it up, which is it lasts 10 minutes, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yep. It's there.
Okay. Well,
it's just hovering. Watching.
Whoever's speaking, I go shush, 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 shush. I just kind of stop, put my hand up, and then I walk towards the door. Does the orb follow me?
How far? Well, I mean, the door is probably about 10 foot away.
Yeah. I just start basically, you know, when you're kind of like trying to do an optical illusion, you move around. I kind of just start moving around and see if it follows me.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just watching Aria around like.
Hold on.
So the other end is like, oh, it's weird. From this angle, she looks all skinny. Well, from this angle, she's like a balloon.
Okay.
Sorry, turns into a kaleidoscope.
Okay. I tell a lie. It wasn't within 15. It was in 10 foot of you. And as you start to move, yes, it starts to follow you.
Okay, so it's on me. Alright. Okay. Could I... Obviously, my knowledge of magic is still very new. I'm still learning. Would I have any idea what this is?
Roll an Arcana check. It'll probably be very difficult.
Yeah, of course, of course. I will say... Once I've done my check.
Because I don't think it's on your spell list.
Nope.
If it's on your spell list, you would just know it.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say you've never seen anyone cast a spell. Your knowledge of the arcane is very, very limited beyond what you've been granted.
But it's a floating orb that's following me, so...
It's a floating orb that appeared when you detected magic.
Alright, I think that's... Storm... You're much... Storm and Alistair, you're better at this than me. There is a floating orb in the corner of the room.
Disappears. The moment you bring it up, it disappears.
I go out the room. I go downstairs to see if anyone's like running out.
Okay, roll a perception check.
I'm going to do the same thing, but out the window of our room. See if there's
Sure, do it. Go ahead.
I'm going to go into the corridor and see if anyone tries to leave the... Actually, no, I'm going to fly out the window and get a bird's eye view and just see anyone who's hurriedly leaving from any exit.
Okay, roll a perception check.
I'm going to open the curtains and have a look.
Okay. So as you run downstairs, it is a busy lunchtime. The tap room is crowded. There are people moving in and out of the door. No one that outwardly looks suspicious. Can say you look out onto the street. A couple of carriages and people walking down. Again, nothing suspicious. And Guy, the same for you. You look around. Nothing stands out to you as particularly weird or strange.
Storm,
when they come back in the room, can I do the just the psychic whispers thing so we don't actually have to talk?
Absolutely. So roll. I think you only get to. You can do up to a certain amount, right?
Yeah. Depends on. So I roll a d8 and then how many hours it is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
8 hours, so it can last up to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Been walking around all day, just.
How many people can you do that with? All of us?
Just go to sleep in 2 and completely waste
Oh,
it.
hold on. I think I might have to roll another dice to see how many people. Hold on, let's have a look. Psychic whispers.
I think I think it's like your
a number of
proficiency.
creatures equal to your proficiency bonus, so I can do
Yeah.
4.
Oh,
people.
damn, so someone's going to be left out.
Why are you guys staring at each other? You're not saying
I
anything.
can go down and drink.
Are you sure? I mean, but then they need to know.
Thing's
as well.
gone.
I mean, whoever is left out, we can just catch them up later.
Explain
Yeah.
it to me, maybe. This orb. Did you
It was like,
else from it?
was it basically just like a glowing orb?
Mm-hmm.
It was
Like a glowing orb of light, just like a little ball of light.
It was just like a, you know how from a distance when you squint, you know the fireflies. It was basically like that, but it was following me. Like wherever I moved, it would come with me.
Does it sound familiar to anything to me?
It sounds like it
Would
It
I
could be a
know
scribe
what that
spell.
sounds like?
It could be a scribe.
it sounds it's the way what she's describing sounds a little bit like scry.
Then that could have been somebody listening into us or watching us.
Well, thankfully we were only talking about Conroy. We didn't get all of our information.
And Conroy
Yes.
Changes things.
not be using.
Interesting.
And I did not admit to doing anything inside of that house.
Depends how long it's been around us for.
That is true. That makes me nervous.
Just want to clarify. I rolled your wisdom saving throw for you, which I will do on any scries, because otherwise I have to say roll a wisdom saving throw, and then you'll be like, okay, well that probably means I'm being scryed upon.
Yeah, it
so
makes it more
if you're
fun,
getting
yeah.
scryed on, I'm gonna roll your wisdom
fair enough.
saving throw for you,
Yeah.
so that you don't know.
Yeah, that's fun. Makes it more fun.
That means there are other magic users in town.
Well,
But
that's
it
what I was
also
going to
means
say.
They'll know that we can use magic because I spotted it.
And
Indeed.
we were told by Nico that they would be allies, so this concerns me.
Listen, the
Sure, we don't know who did it. I feel bad for pointing it out, but I didn't want us to keep talking whilst we were saying all of this information, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If I see it again, I will just choose my words more carefully, because it could benefit us to maybe...
Perhaps we should have a
What
code.
about just a
Perhaps
code
we should
word?
have a code word to say whenever we realize we're being watched.
That is a good idea, I like that. What shall the code word be?
It should be something that
Oh
wouldn't
shit,
seem
there's mine.
suspicious and out of conversation.
We will think of something. Anyway. Has it been 10 minutes? Is it still there? Or has it gone?
Sure. In the 10 minutes,
Yeah.
if you're
Hasn't come
waiting,
back?
it doesn't come back. No.
I think we are okay for the moment, but let us get our information out swiftly.
perhaps we're looking at the wrong people.
You
We
think so?
still haven't met the Duke.
Yes.
Yes.
Leo found this, as you probably gauged, we did not release.
Hold up. Wait. That was magic.
Yes, it was magic.
Scrying eye.
Yes, isn't that interesting?
People in the courts don't like magic. Who was the
Isn't
one
that
person who
interesting?
like magic?
Mhm.
That's what I've been trying to...
Yep.
Sorry.
No. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, there's witches in this court that use magic. Oh, it's not just us then. Oh, that's interesting."
Mm-hmm.
We were told this by Nico. Nico said, but they were allies and they wouldn't reveal themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what confuses me.
We don't know who it is. We literally don't know who cast that spell. Could literally be anyone. But that's so interesting. Anyway,
Nico himself.
Leo, we didn't speak to Leo Thandes. Yeah, as you see, the commotion, you know. We went through his stuff. he seemed a little panicked when we saw him in the room. What we learned is that his business is suffering. There was a letter addressed to him that was threatening him to stop speaking out against the Queen. Other than that, we did not learn much. But he definitely seemed a bit panicked about something.
What did you find in his belongings?
So it was mainly just like trade documents, wasn't it? And then the letter and stuff like that. It was say his business is struggling, and there was something about trade on land versus trade on the sea. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just checking my notes. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. We couldn't get enough information. Could have handled it differently, but in my experience, snooping through people's stuff often tells you more than trying to get them to admit stuff.
So, the attendants has some monetary reasons why you might do this.
Yes. Sorry, remind me. Wasn't there a thing about like he was against trade by sea?
Because it would undercut his business.
His business was effectively the land distribution.
Land distribution, yeah. So I mean,
It's like parcel force getting undercut by Amazon Prime, basically.
Basically, yeah. That's a workable analogy.
I mean, his business is being threatened by sea trade. So there is a motive, but I don't know.
Could be simple greed.
It could be. The nobility of this land are stuck up. It could be that simple. We don't know.
This all goes too far over these years.
Well, if it's any consolation, I feel we can rule out Sven.
Why did you say that?
I can't say we'll just kind of stay quiet and turn to our stream.
Why are you looking at me? Yeah, you're the explaining one.
It's personal to you. I didn't want to talk about it unless you wanted to.
Has Alistair gone downstairs? Did he say he was going to go downstairs?
I think he said something about getting a drink, yeah.
Right, okay, can I just preface then, all this conversation was through the psychic wisp.
Yes, okay. He's just sat there having a drink like, shut the fuck up! Shut up! I just want a drink!
I want to destroy my liver in peace!
That's a big fat mood right there.
Shut up, I just want to drink.
Oh, God.
Oh god, wow, that went it's kind of dark. Anyway,
What's every alcoholic is?
Talking to the voices in your head, shut up, I just want to drink.
Oh god.
Mood.
Ooh, well, anyway.
Too real. Okay.
Moving swiftly on.
Play this game to forget about my worries.
I guess I just says to Alice.
Forget about the haircut.
I didn't want to discuss it unless you.
I suppose it's about time. Oh dear. Remember when we were in Bellinor? In Soule City? And Mayfly said that if we were to go to the Drakenloft Isles, the way that we might convince Gawain was to look for the previous king's missing daughter. It's me.
I'm just gonna look at Gaiac and Storm's face just to see how long it takes for it to click.
Yeah, the whole time she's doing that thing with her hands, I'm just staring, really confused. Then as soon as she said, "It's me," you just see my eyes widen, like the widest you've ever seen. Like,
It's just... It all makes sense now.
Just a little bird poop.
Your Majesty.
I don't believe that Sven would have reason to lie to me. He was a disgraced soldier who fought alongside my father that day. He vouches for Leothandus as well.
did he mention anyone else?
The only thing that he said is that they're all a bunch of cowards, which I can't help but agree with.
That feels very true.
But perhaps Sven is too careless to even care what goes on at court now. He spends his days, it looks like he spends his days drinking and trying to forget the past. Perhaps that clouds his vision, and he's just grateful that somebody like Leothandus would be so loud and brash to speak out against the Queen. But in my experience, it is the quiet ones who tend to be the most deadly. Ones who are loudest and the most vocal, they tend to be the ones not so embarrassed.
Our suspicions are on possibly Conroy then. And also we haven't seen the Duke yet.
And he was the one who had not been present on their night there.
I still don't think it's anybody. I think it's anybody that we've been given.
How do you find out?
The fact that somebody was spying on us, it wouldn't have been Leothandus, because he didn't see you or Alistair, he didn't know that you were there. The only person who knows that we use magic and are also investigating is Nico.
Nico, yes.
Although I will say...
And also...
Take her a bit of favour if we provide the Queen with that information anyway.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, carry on.
The idea of having perhaps another member of court who was very openly against magic be implicated seems to bode well in Nico's favour. This could all be a ploy to strengthen magic's position in Valoon.
I'm all for that.
I wouldn't be against that at all.
Here's the issue, though, as we may mentioned previously. If this is a ploy to strengthen magic in Valoon, they're doing it by implicating an international politician, and that will drag in and cause another conflict that we're likely going to have to mess around fixing it. So, whatever their intentions may be...
Is there anybody...
They're inevitably going to cause some harm in the long run.
Is there anybody in the court who would benefit from a war with David? Perhaps a grudge?
What does Leothandus trade?
Trade?
What does he trade with? Does he trade weapons, armaments, medicine? What?
It's anything. I think it's goods, isn't it? Anything.
Yeah, he is kind of like a... From the documents that you found, he's mostly like a distributor. Yeah. So he effectively rents out.
Like what you said something about wagons as well, didn't you?
Yeah. So his business is getting goods from one place to another, as opposed to creating the goods. It's the service.
Yeah.
The Amazon.
And from what you read on those documents, they range from from David to Deep Bay, to previously Bellinor.
Yeah.
and within those places. But mostly
Quintessilia
it's Val-Aeria.
didn't know what she was getting into when she hired Jeff Bezos to work for her.
Or she did, and that's why he's the Minister of Trade.
Yeah, no, it all makes sense now.
I think we.
War profiteering?
Say that again.
Could it be as simple as war profiteering? It starts a war with David, his demand for his goods go up.
Yeah. Gosh, war does wonders for that kind of industry, don't you think?
The offender seems to have the most motivation, and while someone has been able to place, I've already forgotten his name, racist dude, Conroy. Well, someone has been able to place Conroy at the scene. As we've established, we're dealing with an opponent who can use magic, so it's not entirely out of the question someone simply took on Conroy's appearance.
Yes, Conroy did express a particular distaste for magic.
Perhaps one of us needs to be Conroy's friend. Now that he's seen the ugly side of things.
I think the person he's most likely to trust is downstairs destroying their brain cells, so...
Yes.
Perhaps Alistair is not the best person. Surely, if he is wanted David, exposing him to a member of
Oh yeah, that's a good
court.
point. That's a good point.
Oh wait, yeah, he's wanted.
He's wanted, isn't he? Fuck.
Yeah.
God, we're such bad boys.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Bad boys, bad boys.
What you gonna do?
Gosh, my head is doing the somersaults.
And I just think we have multiple roosts we have rumbled.
I think as much as we don't want to consider it, we should probably consider Nico possible.
Oh yes,
Absolutely.
for sure.
I wouldn't even absolve the queen of not telling us something.
Of course she's not telling us something.
She might have some insight if we go to her with this information. She may be able to elaborate on what she knows.
Information is a very dangerous thing, and if the Queen is looking to implicate someone, perhaps she would benefit from a war with David.
The Queen's stance on... What is Foyford's stance on magic? Do we know?
I mean, do we
I
know?
thought they were against it. Very much
You've
against
seen them
it.
use divine magic.
Yeah.
One of them was a paladin.
Whatever it is, I assume it is extreme.
It's just a thought that has occurred to me that perhaps if Abstream is right, and Cecilia is looking for an excuse to blame David for something, are they perhaps trying to form an alliance with Foyford? David's natural enemy.
With Foyford.
David's natural enemies. They would give them an excuse if David attacked their own. The Queen did seem very anti-magic. She hopes to oppose the new way of thinking that comes
She
from
seems
and that would be the strongest way to do it.
She's not
For
really, though.
appearances. Not, but
Could be
the
pressure from the
subtext
courtiers,
was different.
perhaps.
Perhaps
Then
we should
again-
ask Alistair when he gets back what the current state of David is like. Are they
Hello.
encroaching on the borders
Hey,
of
Finger
Fulham?
Then again, actually no, that doesn't make any sense
I would
because
like-
David is also against magic, so it would be irrelevant.
If a war can be avoided, I would appreciate it. My sister is in David. That would suck.
She part of the court there.
No, she is studying.
I see.
Oh yeah.
Academy.
Is there any more floating balls while we're watching us?
I'll cast detect magic again.
Okay. No.
No, we are good for now.
Should we agree here that no matter what we find, if we want to prevent another war, David wasn't involved?
Innocent until proven guilty.
Not necessarily.
I could talk to.
It's all circumstantial.
I could
Still
talk to
have-
Conway. If that's what you.
Still have the Duke as well.
We have. Oh, did we call us to back up?
I mean, he can hear you. You're using the psychic stuff.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought.
Oh, alright. Am I involved in this? I could.
I thought you were.
Yeah, I
I
thought
guess
you-
you are. One
Oh,
person.
maybe.
I thought that was
Oh,
the reason
yeah.
that Alistair left the room, was because he wasn't.
Oh. Oh, he went to look to see the ball, but maybe you. I think you might be right. He might not be.
But we can call him. We can call him back up anyway.
Yeah, he. I mean, he can come back of his own volition.
Yeah.
I think we
My
should speak
point.
to the Duke first.
Yes.
And-
Yes.
Yeah.
Cover all the bases and then make a decision.
I think it might be beneficial as well. Seems that Sven is our strongest ally. Ask him his opinions on various people specifically.
Yes, of course. You said he seemed to care very little though of the court.
He cares very little for the people in it,
Right.
but he is also
So they must have done stuff to make him think that way.
absolutely. He's in two minds, I believe, about his current situation. He is disgusted, quite frankly, with the behaviour of the courtiers and of the lavishness of Queen Cecilia, but also grateful to her for taking him under her wing.
Might be a good shout.
If all else fails, then we simply will have to present the evidence that was given to us.
See if Cecilia bites.
If we are,
If she does, don't we have our dashing knight Alistair to save the day and make peace with the kingdom of David?
He's wanted, but sure.
If he goes back and actually listens to his parents, perhaps.
Unless, could he disguise himself as another person from David? Perhaps someone of equal importance to himself, but less conspicuous.
Say again. I missed the first part of that.
Perhaps Alistair he can disguise himself, can
Oh yes.
Could he simply disguise himself as someone he knows of importance from David, but that wouldn't be as
Have
conspicuous
to
as the
think
man
of a good
wanted?
reason for them to be here.
And also, he would have to know a lot about them and a lot about their relationship with Conroy.
Very true.
Because if it's somebody that Conroy doesn't like,
We'll put the plan to him and see what he thinks.
I think we should start with the Duke first.
Agreed.
We'll
We should
talk to
also
him
issue more
first, and
information.
then I think that we should talk to Nico in more depth about where he was on the day.
Yeah, I agree. Duke, then Nico, then Sven, then Queen.
My main thing that I want to take away from this is, and I want to put forward to you, is that there are two outcomes to this, both of which are not good. Either David really did do this, and in which case that will lead to a war, another war, or someone with magic and wants to advance magic did this. And that will lead to magic being more repressed in this country than ever.
Or it is an outcome that we have not considered yet. There is never just two options.
I agree. I think we are limiting our scope here, in maybe not realizing that that person or thing watching us could have nothing to do with Chloe.
I don't think that's the case, but I'm just coming up with some theories.
I just don't think we should. It's not smart to
Limit our gaze.
limit our gaze, yes.
In that case, we should go find the Duke.
Let's do it.
Is the
Okay.
back at the back at the matter again?
So, we're going to take a break there. We'll come back at 6, and you guys are heading to the Duke.
Alright.
We'll see you. Hello, and welcome back. So, before the break, we had Gaiak and Storm go and talk to Conroy before meeting. Before everyone met back at the tavern. You got to discuss your ideas and saw a strange orb of light. And just before we left off, you said you wish to go and see Duke Gorovel, if I remember his name correctly. Hope I do. You wanted to go and see him at the town hall. So I'm going to say that the time is about 2 now. Okay, so you guys gather yourselves and head back to the town hall where you believe Duke Gorovel to be staying, along with the other court members. As you arrive, you are let in by the guards there who know your faces, and you can see that for those of you that haven't been here yet, in the day. In fact, actually, I think you all have, but like after the assassination attempt, it is, the defences are a little bit heightened. Guards patrolling and standing outside each of the doors. And as you enter, one of them kind of sees you come through the door, and just kind of watches you. What do you wish to do as you head into the town hall?
You're looking for the Duke, right?
You are indeed.
They will have them all locked down as the others were. So we have to choose our wise words carefully.
It's no problem.
Try not to implicate people in the acts of war this time. Alright, so
So what do you wish to do?
do we know where he is? What room
Nope.
he's in?
Nope.
Oh, we can't ask around because that just looks suspicious because someone was almost assassinated.
Well, Gaiak and Storm managed to do it, so I think we should just ask. Thanks.
Can I help you? You look a little lost.
Sorry, good sir. We were wondering if we could speak to the Duke.
Gorovel.
Duke Gorovel, that's correct.
Huh. Yes. A couple of the guards had been saying that your group had been asking around a lot of questions and talking to a lot of people. I would rather not stick my nose into it, so see, I can help you. You're looking for Duke Gorovel, you say?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, well, you want to go up the stairs to the first floor, follow the corridor down. It will be the steady 5th door on the right.
Thank you. It's much appreciated. Just gonna gesture for everyone to come on.
He does watch you as you head up the stairs, but soon you're out of his sight and making your way down the corridor. You can see there are a number of guards stationed out outside of most of these doors, kind of just stood there, and they kind of are talking to each other as they see you. They kind of watch. At this point, a lot of them have grown to expect this to happen. You guys coming through, and then about an hour passes, and then you come through again. They're kind of used to it at this point, and you make your way up 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth door on the right, and there are a couple of guards stood outside of it. I take it you're here to see the Duke.
That's correct.
Very well. One moment, please. He kind of turns to knock on the door, and before he does, he kind of just... How patient are you?
I think you'll find we can be extremely patient. Isn't that right, everyone?
Yes, yes.
He kind of seems to like rub the side of his temple, and a couple of the other guards that are stationed out some of the kind of doors just kind of start to laugh a little bit, and he goes,
The look of a man who hates his job.
You're going to need every last job you have. Duke, you have visitors. Duke got a Val. You got a Val.
Oh dear.
Kind of takes out a keychain, unlocks the door, opens it up, and as he does, you see the interior of the room that you've kind of seen before. You know, it's the same room layout as the other ones that you've been in, and the only difference here is that the window is about half open and air kind of fluttering through, and he just opens the door. Oh, for fuck's sake. Kind of turns around. We need to search the town hall and find the Duke. Gods be damned. I swear on the... Unfortunately, it would seem that your target is not here. We will do our best to find him.
Could we ask you some questions then?
He is a little shit and has been.
Really?
See, you may ask. If we... Do we should step inside? If this is a private matter.
Someone I might get along with.
Okay, please. Step
Are we allowed
inside.
to...
It kind of turns to the guards around. Stannis, I need you to inform the captain that Godavel has snuck out yet again.
How
Please,
old is this
step
man?
inside.
I think I remember being told he was rather young.
Not old enough to be responsible. Let me tell you that. He kind of closes the door behind as you guys step in. Walks over to the window, kind of looks out on the street, and closes the window. Yeah, you're already in the room.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is the Duke still here?
I'm going to look for signs of struggle.
Okay, roll an investigation.
Well, we're
perception
sorry. We're alone in the room, right? Yeah.
check. With the guard. You asked if you could ask him some questions. He stepped in and showed you in. He's obviously not going to leave you alone in a Duke's room. Investigation. Okay, yeah, you look around. I mean, it's messy. Shit has kind of been thrown around, but you kind of get the impression it's from an angsty teen who just doesn't want to clean up his room, as opposed to signs of struggle. It's just messy and reminds you of like your childhood home.
Right.
Or not, maybe not, but like that idea.
How old is this guy?
I kind of lean over to Alistair and be like, "Would you mind keeping him busy for a second?"
Of course. So,
Sweetie.
how much interaction have you had with the young Duke?
I am his ward in the court. That is probably an exaggeration of the title, but I make sure that he doesn't get into trouble.
Who are his parents?
His parents are unfortunately passed. That is why he has the title of Duke.
Of course. And he is in his teens.
See. 15.
It's a difficult job for a 15-year-old to carry.
See, it is.
And he does this often, yes?
See, every place, every town we go to, he finds a way of sneaking out, no matter how hard we lock it down.
Where do you normally find him? A tavern?
Once or twice, see. But occasionally he just kind of comes back.
He is young. He's probably just exploring these new
He's
places.
stupid, is what he is. He's a duke. If anyone knew who he was, Okay, in the meantime, Aria, use detect magic. You look around, do not see anything magical. But roll me a perception check whilst you're doing that.
While that is going on,
Okay, so before that, just so I can tell you, as you're looking around, you don't see any kind of like magical orbs or anything to that degree, but you find your way over to a desk near the fireplace, and on it you see a note, and it reads this.
Oh, that's where we're headed. Well, thank you for your time. We'll come back another time if you could inform us. We're currently staying at the where is it that we're staying?
Crossblades Inn.
The Crossblades Inn. We're currently staying at the Crossblades Inn, so if you could inform us when the Duke has returned, then it would be much appreciated, and we'll come back and ask him questions then.
See, I shall.
Thank you. And then we'll skid out. Let's go!
Pocket the note in my bosom.
Okay. You make your way up the room, and he kind of follows out, and you see him kind of talk to a couple of guards who make their way down the hall, presumably in search.
And as soon as I feel like we are alone, I will be like, I think I know where our little Duke is. And show them the note.
We better get there quickly then.
Let's go.
Yes, I agree.
I think it'd be imperative though that we are not seen. May I suggest we take the aerial route?
sorry, what?
Aerial
Wait, what did you just say?
rooftops.
I'm just gonna make my way up a building. Just
Yep.
yeet.
Yep, I'm just gonna flap up there.
Okay.
Up we go.
Where are you doing this?
I'm
We'll
just
find-
gonna
back alley.
walk normally.
Okay.
Well, I don't want them to see us coming.
Walking normally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Yeah. For those of you who wish to take the aerial route, you somehow managed to do it without getting spotted. But nonetheless, you make your way to the marketplace. In fact, actually, the Musty Monk. Let me check. Where's the little Musty Monk? He is literally on the opposite side of the marketplace.
Hello.
So
Okay.
you are effectively going all the way round.
Well, we'd want to give it a wide berth anyway. We don't want to just walk up into the alley and be like, "Oi!"
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like that's what some of your party is doing.
I think it's good for us to cover if there's any other exits or routes.
Yeah. There might be
Ow.
there might be snipers on this guy. You know, I'm definitely going over the
Scottish
roof.
shooters.
Yeah, if people who are on the ground cover
I
the ground exits, and
Don't
then people
be
on the buildings can
seen.
observe where he's going.
Don't
Yeah.
be seen. We want to
I'm
hear
gonna-
what they're talking about.
Yeah, I'll go on the roof and also, yeah, I want to do it stealthily.
Okay. Okay, so
when I get out of view, I'm going to cast invisibility on myself and just hide around the corner from the alley.
Cool. So I'm going to say, for the sake of brevity, that you make your way there and can position yourselves as you wish around the alley behind the Musty Muck, which you can see is a few alleys over is where these canals begin in the town. You can see the construction site of some of them, in construction on the north side. What do you wish to do as you kind of place yourselves around?
Listen in. Is he there?
You can have a look.
Yeah.
Okay, roll a perception check.
May I join that?
Let's go.
Sure. Okay. Cool. So you guys are both looking down the alleys, and you see a lot of people kind of walking through and passing down the streets and side alleys, but behind the tavern itself, you can see a number of crates and barrels, and kind of wedged in like an L-shaped alley where it comes to a dead end. You see two individuals there. One in like a dark, almost tattered grey cloak with a hood up, and stood next to him is someone else in like a red cloak with the hood up as well. But it kind of looks, I mean, with that perception roll, it looks like it's well made, trimmed with silver. There's a tassel on it, and their stature is a lot shorter, like almost like a teenager's size. So yeah, you can see these two individuals in this alleyway, and you watch as the wealthier, smaller looking one hands over what looks to be a small leather pouch to the other as they kind of like look around. What do you wish to do?
Are they saying anything?
Yeah.
I think you can communicate this to each other if you wish. I will allow that because I'm nice.
I mean, technically the psychic whispers are still going, so it's just Alistair.
Oh, you are right.
It lasts like 8 hours.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does.
But the only one who's not in it is Alistair. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think he's around the area, invisible anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, just listen in, see if they say anything to the kind of see any faces, if at all.
They begin to separate. One of them, they kind of begin to move up the alleyway.
Okay, I say we follow.
Oh, yeah, now you go.
I was going to suggest following the guy in the grey hood.
Follow the teenager or the two that just took the pouch?
The dude that just took the pouch.
I thought there's two that took the pouch.
There's only one.
Just one. There's two people. One took the pouch. The one gave it to him.
I totally heard that wrong. My apologies. Right, yeah, we follow the one that took the pouch for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to cast an invisibility.
We know where the Duke is. We want to go talk to him, so.
Okay. So they both turn together out towards the marketplace. I'm going to need you to roll me a perception check.
Everyone?
Whoever's trying to find them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Oh, Gaiax lost his eyes again. His contacts have fallen out.
Wow, okay. So, I mean, yes.
Right, I just realised I was on mute this whole time, so I
right.
I was trying to say, the guy who got handed a pouch, was he the one in the red cloak?
No.
No, the other guy. The guy in the red cloak handed the pouch.
Gave him the pouch?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to follow the guy in the red cloak.
Okay.
Splitting the party.
Okay, sure. Roll me a perception check, Kensei.
The guy's wearing well-made clothes.
Yeah, we know.
It's obviously the Duke.
We can put two and two together.
Roll a perception check, Kensei.
Okay. Shit.
Okay. Okay. So, Ken, so you follow off as after this red cloaked individual. The rest of you follow this like person in a tattered cloak, who almost vanishes into the crowd, but your keen eyes are able to pick up on him. Seems like the kind of person that is used to try to blend in and disappear. But you keep track on him, and he moves through the marketplace, through the crowds. Kensei, you try to follow the red cloak. You follow for about 5 minutes, and it's gone. Like you've lost it. You can't see where it's disappeared to.
Shit.
The rest of you. The cloaked individual comes out from the market, kind of looking around. And slips into another alleyway. Are you how are you following?
I'm invisible.
I'm gonna.
On the roofs.
Yeah, I'm gonna be hopping between rooftop.
Okay, I'm gonna need you all to roll me a stealth check.
Rooftop boys.
Team
I mean,
rooftop.
I'm following on the ground.
I'll be also on the ground now because
I'm gonna say about 20 minutes has passed at this
Oh
point.
no!
Just for that.
Oh wait, no, you have advantage. So you're
that's
invisible.
18 for me as well because I'm invisible as well.
Oh yes,
well,
of course.
30.
sorry.
32. Fucking hell.
These big wings, they're a curse and a blessing.
God, first they had their first
Wow.
perception check as a couple and rolled the same number, and then
Jesus.
now they got their stealth
Right.
checks going with a billion.
It's crazy. Okay, so you believe yourselves to, be concealed, being as quiet and as stealthy as you can. You follow him into an alleyway. He kind of walks up and kind of like rests against a corner, kind of hood down, and just kind of is stood there, almost like he's waiting for something or someone.
Wait too.
We wait as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna be watching for specifically him to make any sudden movements in case like he knows we're onto him and is gonna quickly dash. So I'm gonna be looking
Yeah,
for any.
let's position
sudden-
ourselves
very
so
sudden
that if he
movements.
does try and run,
Cover
we've
all
blocked
escapes,
off his
yeah.
exits. Yeah.
I and Alistair on the ground. Alistair and I.
Okay. So, you wait 10, 15 minutes. Another 20 minutes goes by. So you've had your invisibility up for 40 minutes now. He's just kind of stood there waiting. You watch him like light a cigarette, smoke it through, kind of waits. Someone comes in through the alley. Looks like just a worker. Trimmed brown hair, a little bit of a beard going on, with rolled up white shirt and like suspenders and black bottoms. It just looks like maybe someone who works on the docks. Unassuming. Walks up to the guy. They kind of give each other a look. The dock worker goes and kind of stands next to him and pulls out. He's going to pull out a couple of gold pieces. Hands it over. The guy, the one in the cloak, kind of looks at the gold pieces, tastes them, puts them in a pouch in his pocket, and you watch him go into another pouch on his belt, concealed by the cloak. Pulls out a little vial, shakes it. It's a red and brown liquid.
Oh, we know what that is.
And kind of like
Wait, what kind of
shakes the
drug
guy's
trade?
hand. Shakes the other guy's hand, handing off this vial of brown and red liquid, which the keen-eyed of you recognise as liquid pain.
I think our Duke's a little.
The Duke's on
Yeah,
heroin.
he's
Little junkie. Reminds me of my youth.
But
Oh, Jack's gone.
I did.
Oh, I think we might have freaked out Jack there.
He's getting flashbacks.
Yeah. Big throbbing.
No, I'm not dealing with anyone else with liquid pain again. What would you like to do?
I mean, he's a drug dealer. This guy's a drug dealer. But
That is the impression that you're getting.
But the Duke's note said, "I did what you asked." What's that about? What's that about?
Yeah, maybe there's a
What
little
do they
bit.
ask?
Maybe it's just I got what you asked me to get you.
As in the Duke got the drugs for this guy?
Yeah. No. As in, so the note was from the other guy asking him to meet him behind the
Mossy Monk, because the
Mossy
Duke had the
Monk.
letter.
The Duke went there having bought a vial of liquid pain, and the note was just the guy in the grey cloak saying, "I've got what you asked." You know.
Sorry,
But the Duke
I
gave
completely cut
drugs,
out there. What happened?
Didn't he?
No, so the note was in his bedroom. So the Duke, that's his note from the guy in the grey cloak.
Sorry, did we just find out that he was just buying drugs?
No, you're right. You're so right.
Well, you found out that the guy in the cloak was selling liquid pain
Yeah, I figured
to
as much.
another person they found in an alleyway. You can draw what conclusions you want from that.
Yeah,
Should
I
we
figured
jump
as
on
much.
this guy? We've got him surrounded. Want to talk to him?
So we might as well.
Torture him for information.
I
Well,
expect
we've
nothing
got him
less.
surrounded. We've
He's
got
not going to know anything.
I whisper to Storm, and via my head waves. You have got him locked off on the ground, yes?
Yeah, yes, I can see him. I haven't listened long before the invisibility will pass.
Don't worry about it. I'll wait
Should we
until
jump him?
I'll wait until the worker walks off.
He walks off.
Jump him.
I'll jump down.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's a
do
muggin, boys. It's a muggin.
You're
Alice on one
jumping
side, me
down.
on the other. Yeah, ninja style.
Okay, you're
Girlfriend
just
team
jumping
armor.
down.
Yeah, we're jumping down, but on either side of him.
Okay, as you kind of
How tall are
you're
the
just
buildings?
jumping. I mean, they are like
We're dexterous.
I mean, they're about 30 foot high.
Okay, being dexterous
I-
doesn't
You are
help when you have
dexterous.
I'm
broken
gonna
legs.
I'm gonna jump down the alleyway and swoop and tackle him.
I mean, there's you can.
I'm jumping down.
Okay, you can jump down.
I am climbing
Okay.
Assassin's Creed style down.
Oh, God.
Okay, then you're gonna need to
Mentally,
make me. You're gonna need to make me a
control.
stealth check, Alistrine. But the climbing down is not gonna be as fast as jumping down.
It's fine.
So.
I want to look cool.
Okay.
I
Okay.
want to look cool. It'll be on brand. Drug the bear.
Okay. As you land on the ground, Aria, you take 13 bludgeoning damage because you just
Welcome
jumped
to pain.
30 foot down.
Sure.
Which I mean you can
Jeez.
halve with your
I mean, I have
uncanny
evasion
stuff, right?
or uncanny dodge or whatever.
Uncanny
yeah, I'll
dodge. I
hit.
think that is that for attack or is that just damage in general? I'm not
Well,
actually
uncanny
sure.
dodge.
Yeah, I think it might be just damage in general.
Yeah. So what's that?
Okay.
6?
Yes, it would be 6. But actually, you're halfway down. The sound of Aria's like ankle cracking distracts the guy enough. Kind of sees you having jumped down, Aria. Immediately pulls like a dagger out. It's kind
I'm
of
swooping.
rusted dagger. You're swooping.
Is bad.
I'm gonna tackle him.
You're gonna tackle him. Okay, roll an athletics check.
Athletics.
Okay.
Oh, my athletics actually would be good. 23.
Okay, 23? Yeah, I mean, he rolled a natural 1 on that. You swoop in as he kind of turns to Aria, getting ready to kind of, like, this look of panic in his eyes and surprise. Boof! He feels his lurch as you slam into him after swooping down. I'm going to see.
Gonna get me with him.
Okay. So yeah, you slam into him as as you kind of crash through a couple of crates onto the ground.
Okay,
And
I'm
he's
gonna.
kind of like struggling. Get off! And he's going to try and get off you. I need to roll another athletics check in this moment. Wow, pathetic.
13.
Yeah, it's still enough. Like, you've got him pinned down. He is like on his front, arm twisted round. The blade clatters on the ground.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold him there.
Okay.
I am going to produce my psionic blade and put it on his throat.
Okay.
Anybody want to ask a question?
Okay. As you use your magic or psionics to create a blade, he looks in horror at it. Magic users! And spits in your face.
I'm gonna stamp on that motherfucker's face. How dare he? Stamp on his face.
Okay, roll an attack roll. I'm gonna make it. It's not gonna be a normal attack roll though. It's gonna be an unarmored attack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stamp on.
But I mean, he's prone, so you've got advantage. So roll a d20 and then add your proficiency bonus and strength modifier. But you have advantage on the roll. Roll it again. Roll it again. You have advantage because he's restrained and prone. Okay, that's more. That's gonna hit. You don't need to add anything. That will definitely hit regardless. Okay, roll me. I think it's what's your strength modifier?
My strength modifier. I think it's a 2. Oh, it's a 1. Yeah.
+1.
Yeah, 1.
Okay. So he takes 2 bludgeoning damage as you kind of kick him in the face. And a spurt of blood sprays across and you can hear this nose crack a little bit.
I'm gonna walk up and join them.
I'm gonna like lean into his face and just be like, you'll very soon realise that I'm the nasty one of this group. So you better be respectful. Would anybody like to ask the gentleman a question?
You seem to have friends in high places, it seems.
What the fuck do you want?
What's your business with the Duke?
Get fucked.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just gonna stamp on his face again.
Roll another attack roll.
wow. Alright.
Okay. This time as you go to kick, he lurches his head up and he's gonna use that momentum to try and crack Gaiac in the head. That is gonna be a 14 to hit, Gaiac.
18's my armor class. After he does that, I'm gonna slam his head into the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead. Roll an unarmored attack. So that's a d20 plus yours. Okay, you try to slam his head in, and as you kind of slam it down, he tries to roll off. I need you to roll an athletics check.
Okay.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Natural 20?
Every single roll he's tried to escape with has been a natural one.
Oh no!
As he tries to roll, you curve your wings around him, just as he's about to escape. But he is currently now on top of you. Like, you're effectively spooning him with your wings.
This is romantic.
You are a group of people who can make your life hell. I suggest you cooperate with us.
You look up and can see about 4 people looking out their windows in the alleyway at this commotion, who have seen someone summon a magical elemental thing, and they're kind of watching in horror. And as you kind of look up and see them, they close the shutters.
How have we been seen?
I'm just gonna say very loudly, give me back my money, you thug.
Roll me a deception check. Actually, a performance. I'm going to make you do a performance here because that is.
Yeah. Go on, girl. No.
Real bad.
Okay. you try
To
to
the
play it
nosy
off.
neighbours, believe
You
her.
have to see what it means. Have to see what it means later.
Right.
We know for a fact that after closing the shutters, they're all like that against them. Like,
Absolutely. they're the neighbours that when they hear their neighbours arguing, they come out and they start ironing their plants.
mm.
You know?
Iron in their plants.
Yeah. Anything just to listen. Anyway, are you going to cooperate?
Seems I don't have a choice. But you should know. It's not a good idea what you're doing.
Wouldn't be the first
I know.
time.
You don't want to mess with my guild.
Your guild? What is your guild?
I'm sure you'll find out.
What is your business with the Duke?
Search his body.
You're not there.
I know.
I mean, I did tell. Oh no, I didn't. Did I tell Storm that we were rolling?
Yeah.
So you know, but then you're.
My business with him is business. What do you want me to tell you?
What was in the package that he gave me?
Why don't
Wait.
you look yourselves?
I'm so.
I'm gonna
so
search him.
stupid.
Fuck
Yeah.
him. Search
Okay,
him.
you
Yeah.
search him. You find a satchel full of gold pieces, as well as well, actually, roll me an investigation check.
Good with this.
Okay. Along with more of these red and brown liquid in vials that are kind of like strapped to parts of his body and in hidden compartments of his clothing. That's what you find.
What are these? Explosives?
Why don't you shoot some up and you'll find out.
They are drugs. Actually, I don't say her name. I just say they are drugs.
Anything else that you want to tell us?
I have nothing else to say.
How long have you been doing business with the Duke?
It seems like you don't have a lot of information to go off of, do you?
That's why we're here.
How long has he been in town, you stupid?
Okay, as soon as he says stupid, I'm gonna like just press my dagger like into his throat a little bit.
Okay. Oh, you're making a big mistake, honey.
What's the name of your guild?
Like I said, you'll find out.
Tell me, or you won't live to say another word.
Kill me and you won't live either.
Has he got any kind of brand on him? Might suggest.
You can look.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. Investigation. Yeah.
Actually, I think actually, Alistair, you would have seen during your investigation. He has a tattoo on his arm of almost like a thin bandit mask with a dagger going through, which is of the Allura's Guild.
Yep, he's from the Thieves Guild.
I thought this as well.
Yeah. He's from the Thieves Guild. But we
Yeah.
I kind of sorry, go.
No one said anything. It was you.
Oh, sorry, I thought someone was about to speak. I just lean over to Alistair and we're like, we're not going to get anything from him. Just let him go. Or kill him. It's up to you.
Let him go.
Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah, I'll release him. I won't do it comfortably, though. I'm gonna throw him to the side.
he kind of gets up off the ground, kind of wipes off some of the blood. Kind of looks at you. Just kind of begins to walk away with his back away from you.
But just before he leaves, I kind of say the thieves can't equivalent of "we've seen your face" just before he leaves.
And he kind of smirks,
Bye-bye.
gives a wink, and I've seen yours. And with that, he kind of slips into the shadow behind one of the behind an alley. Disappears.
I am getting a very strong feeling that we've been in this town for far too long.
Well, Cecilia's given us a task that's keeping us here. We should go and speak to the Duke.
Has no end at the moment. Seems we're no step closer to finding out who's responsible for all of this.
I'm going to have Ken say roll me a perception check right about now, please.
Come on, give me something with a 2 and a 0. Better, I guess.
You spend the time kind of looking through the crowds. You just cannot pick up his trail. He disappeared and got too far away, and now it's just too difficult to find him.
Damn it.
But any conversation they're having, you probably can hear still.
I was going to say, what's the range on this psychic whisper thing?
Do you know what? I'm actually not sure. Is it 100 foot or is it like indefinite?
I think it was quite big because we used it in the prison, didn't we?
Yeah. In the prison?
When we broke
So
out.
it doesn't actually say if there is a limit to how far somebody can travel, but once it's initiated, they have to be within 30 foot.
Oh.
Oh, right. They have to be within 30 foot to speak
hold on.
telepathic.
No. Sorry, that's my bad. It's within 1 mile.
Whoa.
Okay.
Gucci.
Okay, I think you're going to be within a mile.
So
Yeah, you're within a mile easily. You can hear. You can communicate.
I tried following the Duke, but I think I lost it. I haven't been going on your end.
Yes, we found a drug dealer. Part of the Thieves Guild.
Makes sense.
Seems there are a lot of people in this town who are very confident with their standing in it.
Yes, everyone is so cocky.
Or perhaps he simply doesn't care.
Oh, well, it'll be the first time the Thieves Guild have done something shady. God, that whole thing is
First time.
shady.
Let's go back to the hall and see if the Duke's returned.
Perhaps one of us should keep an eye on the window at this time and make sure that he isn't preparing to sneak out again the moment we try to knock on his door.
A Duke who likes to sneak out at night and that is involved in shady business is bound to know or have seen something. Might have some useful information.
Let's go.
Let's go.
When we were in the town hall, we would I would know where that window would be on the outside of the building, right?
You could probably deduce it.
Okay, I am gonna stay outside and keep an eye on that window as you guys initially go to the room. Keep an eye on it.
Okay. Just so you are aware, there are, if you remember, the roof of the town hall is flat. It's almost like a castle-esque top. The guards on the roof can see you, and they are kind of watching you curiously.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything too shady. I'm just keeping an eye.
Okay.
Even wave.
I mean, they do recognise you, but there is an element of uncertainty. But the rest of you are making your way back to the town hall, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you regain your lost member at the town hall, and supposedly, I assume, make your way up towards Gorvel's room once again. Okay, you make your way up, passing the guards as usual, and arrive outside his door. That guard's still there.
Any news?
Not yet.
So he's not back.
Not to my knowledge, he didn't come through here.
Perhaps he climbed back in through the window.
Well, there's only one way to find out, I suppose. Duke! One moment.
It's one of the side effects of liquid pain having a ridiculously high voice.
I
Or
try and
just
like
puberty.
laugh as like, what a coincidence.
Crazy, isn't it crazy?
He kind of goes to the door, waits a moment, and you hear it unlock. The guard opens it, kind of begins to walk in. You little shit. You have guests. They were here earlier. But it would seem that you had gone for a stroll. You can see him kind of like nervously kind of stand there. And then he walks over to the desk that you previously found the note on. He kind of just sits down on a chair there. Please go in.
I'm gonna.
But he steps in with you.
I'm gonna say through psychic whispers. Have you found the Duke?
He's here.
Would somebody mind opening the window for me?
I'll go over and open the window.
I'm gonna look up, make sure.
As you walk to the window, which is now closed, the guard says, "If you would, I would like to avoid keeping windows open, given the situation that happened here earlier
I'm just
today."
gonna tell Guy to
I
go through
said,
the door.
believe me, it'll be okay. We've had a man watching the window.
And I was not asking.
Sorry, you don't understand. That man's watching the window, and now he
Sensei.
needs to use the window.
He said no. Kayak, come through the door.
You hear a sigh through the psychic
Yeah.
whispers.
Wait, I thought. I don't understand what you're asking.
He can fly. He has wings.
We had a guy watching the window in case, for anything suspicious.
Right,
Mr. Duke attempted to escape again.
I see. Are you asking him to come in through the window?
Yeah,
I
I
feel
know
that
it's
there's a
not the custom around here
miscommunication
to
here.
accommodate the people with wings.
You've already overcomplicated this more than you
So-
needed.
Guys, how are we gonna make a good impression with anybody in this fucking town if we fly through windows?
By this point, Gaiak's given up and he's walking in.
honey.
On the guards? No, but on a thrill-seeking...
I am going to have to ask you to leave.
Are you fucking
I do not.
serious?
I don't appreciate the tone that you are taking with
Oh
me,
my
given the
God.
situation that has happened here today.
Okay, let me talk this out.
Fine, we'll stay outside.
Duke Goravel.
My goal here is not to accommodate to your friends, but it is to maintain the safety of my charge here.
Please,
Okay.
sir, everyone. Kayak, go through the door.
I've been walking in through
We
the.
will listen to the guard orders.
He may come through the window if that is what you are asking me, but that was not communicated to me. You asked if you could. You just went over to open the window. I didn't understand what you were asking me. A little
Right, yeah.
clarity is all I ask for.
I'm probably there by now.
That guy, like, as a bird, just like tapping his beak on the window.
Made much of an impression on the guard, but it would definitely have made an impression on a thrill-seeking 15-year-old Duke.
Fuck these people, man. We're here to talk to the Duke anyway.
I mean, you wanted to go and open a window.
And in most cultures, that's considered okay.
It is. But I mean, the as far as these guys are aware, someone has broken in and they've got strict orders.
Guys, it's fine. We did what our characters would do. Let's go.
Okay, so you can open up the window and let him in.
He's already there.
But he is.
Let's do it.
Yeah, by this time I've just gone around and I've walked in through the door and I kind of just wander into the room having no idea that any of this argument has happened.
He's going to stand quite close to the Duke now.
My apologies for the misunderstanding. We have a few questions to ask you, Duke Gorovel.
You can see now that the Duke has cropped wavy blonde hair and brown eyes. He's showing the signs of late puberty, spotted face, red cheeks, and patches of a blonde beard growing through, but very, very patchy. This dude is this kid ain't over 15 years old.
Okay. So
he kind of just like sinks back into his chair, puts his feet on the desk, and just kind of leans back in the chair. What?
I don't laugh. That was out of character. No. It just caught me off guard. Sorry. We have some questions about yesterday. No doubt you were informed about the disaster that occurred on the docks, yes?
Yeah, no shit.
Oh my god.
We were just doing a routine investigation as instructed by the Queen. We were wondering of your whereabouts on that day.
I was here.
Your rooms?
See?
Could anybody vouch for that?
The guard turns. See, I can vouch for that.
I see. Fantastic.
I mean...
I must ask you a difficult question, if you're willing to answer.
I might.
Is there anybody you know of who is suspicious and would go as far to do something like that? You think of any names?
No.
Nothing
Not
comes to
really.
mind.
No.
What is your position in the court, if you don't mind me asking?
You don't know who I am?
My apology, as I'm not from this area.
I am Duke Gorovel Dantese. And you would do to show me a little more respect.
Of course. I'm gonna bow very slightly. What's your relationship with Her Majesty Queen Cecilia like? You too close?
None of your business.
Well, it is our business because we've had a meeting from the Queen.
So Duke, he's gonna get pissed off and then we won't get any information.
We've done that.
I think I was talking to the pretty one.
And I think you're missing a letter. Are you not?
Alistair, what the fuck?
A letter, Duke? A letter? What are you talking about? answer me. What letter?
I think we meant like, as in instead of pretty ones, each of the pretty ones means pretty ones. Couldn't like not being included.
Well, you can tell me what letter this is, or I can say that you stole from a duke.
Nobody has the letter on them. We misplaced it on the way here. We were supposed to give him a letter from somebody.
Roll a deception check.
People on power get offended so easily, and you have to be brown nosy in these situations, or there's nothing.
Okay.
Did the Duke have any reaction? Whilst
Very well. Roll an insight check. I'll give you that.
That's what I want to get from that.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Okay. Yeah, he had some very clear nervous implications there, kind of like tugging at his clothes.
I just give him a look like, I know what you're looking. I know, basically, about the letter.
I'm not gonna say
That was happening.
fucking God,
Just giving him
isn't
that
it?
look.
Very well. I take it there is more to talking to the Duke than, as you have stated. It would seem you have not been quite so honest with me.
We have been instructed by the Queen to act discreetly. It's not a matter of meaning to cause offence. It's simply a matter of discretion.
Kind of looks towards Alistair and looks back to you. You would call that discretion?
He is an apprentice. He's not used to the court as such.
I'm not taking my eyes off the Duke. I'm just staring at him.
I will ask again what letter it is. Oh, you already told me. Never mind.
So, if you have no information about the court, about what might have happened, anything useful would be greatly appreciated. As you can imagine, our first priority is the Queen's safety.
See, I understand that.
So, Duke Gorovel, if there is anything, any information whatsoever.
No.
Insight.
Go ahead.
He's not going to talk with the guard in the room.
Of course he's not, no.
He's not going to say anything.
Unless you got a plan to get him out, because I don't.
This guy ain't budging. Not without a fucking good reason.
What you asked is kind of a very broad question. He clearly seems very uncomfortable, very, very nervous, especially ever since the letter was brought up. But you don't know if that's a reflection of the question that you've asked, or if he's holding on to that feeling from the mention of the letter.
Okay.
Would you wait outside, please? I think it best if I settle these matters like a real Duke.
His voice is great.
And you? Very well. You don't have to answer any questions you don't want to. Even if they are working for the Queen. You have rights, remember that. I'll be outside if you need me. And he walks to the door and closes it. The Duke kind of eyes the door. Kind of looks back to you. What letter?
You know what letter, Duke Gorabel.
We saw you.
You know about your meeting this afternoon. Please, please.
You can't tell him.
No, of course not. You're old enough to be a duke. You're old enough to make your own decisions.
Is that where you were?
See, I am, but he doesn't understand that.
He simply cares for you. Sorry, you go.
I was just going to say, so is that where you were on the night of the incident?
See, kind of looks down in a little bit of shame and like he's been caught out.
I'm guessing it must be stressful being 15 and a duke.
Kind of looks up, these like tears in his eyes. See, it's a lot of pressure.
I sort of, kind of get that. The pressure put on you from a young age. Wanting to relieve that.
It helps.
I haven't...
Sometimes I feel not myself, you know? It helps me feel something.
No, I get that, but... Trust me, you do not want to carry on doing that. When you're young, it's fine, but when you're older, you're going to have a position of power. You're 15 years old. The people out here are ready to help you. I know what it's like. I'm going to be the leader of my church when I am older, and I have had my parents on my back since I could walk. That stuff, if you are caught, you won't just lose the Duke, you will lose everything. You don't want to lose that.
No.
And if you need help...
Oh,
I was just going to say, if you need help, just ask for it. Do you want me to roll?
A persuasion check. Yeah, I need to roll me a persuasion check. Thank you. It's nice to talk to someone who understands.
Do you have any family?
Not anymore. No.
What happened to them?
They died.
How old were you?
It was only just over a year ago. And now I'm in charge of the whole of the south. It's hard. You just can't get out. No one can know.
It won't.
Well, you're lucky that we caught you. Not the guard.
So stupid.
No, you're not. You're young. Stressed out. You're in charge of something you shouldn't be at your age. You're not stupid.
If you want my advice, guard standing outside that door is about you. You should listen to him.
Oh well.
Oh, and a word of advice: if you are going to sneak out, try closing the window when you leave. It makes it less obvious.
But I did that once and I couldn't get it open again.
Yeah.
That's why you leave like a little slip of paper, like between the window and thing.
Alistair,
It's a good advice. It's a
Professional
That's-
breakout,
very
right?
good tip.
That's a good idea. You sound like you speak from experience.
Just
Yeah,
don't go
probably
sneaking out. Just don't go sneaking out and buying that stuff. Try going to taverns or something, exploring.
if you
I
need
should swap it
anything...
with alcohol. Okay.
No, no. Trust me, you do not want alcohol.
Alistair, I think this conversation is starting to get just a tad hypocritical. So, anyway. Do you need
It's
anything
just me
from
suggesting
us?
exploring the town.
Yes, exploring the town. That's a better idea. If you need anything from us, we're currently staying at the Crossblades Inn. If you need anything, or if you remember anything about the day of the explosion.
Did you see anything when you were sneaking around?
See.
And what was it?
Well, I was out, you know,
Yes.
making a purchase, and I saw, I think it might have been Lord Nico, was out on a evening stroll as well.
This was the night.
Whereabouts?
I don't think he saw me though. Oh, just out in the market.
Was he with anyone?
No, I don't think so.
Which direction was he headed?
I'm not sure. I saw when I saw his face and recognized him. I kind of ducked back into the alley. I didn't want him to see me, you know. And especially now, with everything that's happened, I'm scared that everyone will think it's me. I was out that night.
No.
What if they think it's me?
They don't think it's you. You're 15. You can do it.
Well, you know. not
Oh no! Oh God!
No, alright, not helpful. Oh,
But I don't think they will think it's you.
I'm gonna kind of put like a very firm hand on his shoulder, just obviously trying to be comforting and like failing miserably. But you
He
know,
kind
when,
of
like,
looks up at you.
those awkward moments when your dad would like come up to you and
Yeah.
be like, "How's it going, champ? How you doing?
are you winning, son?
Are you winning?" So very much that kind of vibe, and just kind of like get eye level with him. You've
Okay.
had the cares and struggles of adulthood thrust on you from a very young age. But
See?
you are approaching real adulthood.
See, this is a bit of an awkward.
Shh, I'm not done. Listen to me.
I'll literally just
Someday
look at the Duke.
you
and
are going to
Duke, and
need.
so I'm sorry.
One day you are going to need to lead people, and that means that you have to be comfortable in yourself. No matter what anybody thinks of you, no matter what anybody accuses you of, as long as you are certain of yourself, it shouldn't matter.
But how do I live up to my father?
You're not your father. Are you?
You don't live up to your father.
But he leaves boots standing, and I'm young. I don't know how to lead. I've never had to before. And suddenly
Don't think of it as going into boots that you are not ready to fill. It's your own boots, if you may. Do what you think is fit.
Thank you. For
And also, I
this.
get a piece of paper. I get a piece of paper, fold it 3 times, give it to him like this. Join him.
Ah, I see.
And wipe those tears off your face. We don't want the guard thinking that we.
Yeah,
Terrified
of
you.
course. There's a knock on the door again. The Duke. Everything all right in there? See. We have finished our conversations, and it was enlightening. You may enter now. It opens up. I hope that you got what you came here for.
Yes, thank you. That will be all, I think.
Yep. Walk out.
And it just kind of opens the door for you. As you walk away, he kind of just says, as he closes the door, kind of taps you. No offense was meant, but I'm looking out for him.
Good thing.
You'll need that. Yeah, you'll need that.
Good day. So, what would you like to do?
Let's go find Nico.
Nico next.
Okay. So are you looking to try and find his room?
Yeah. I just asked the guard who was there.
Oh, of course. You're looking for Lord Nico. He is on the floor above.
Thank you. Start making my way there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So you follow this, the hallway round and up some stairs to this upper level, and you can see now there's it's more of like an open foyer area, and the rooms are slightly what you assume to be like slightly larger. There are 2 guards that are stationed outside of a set of like small dark wooden double doors. I kind of stood there and watch as you come up the stairs. See, can we help?
We're looking to speak to Lord Nico.
Lord Nico is not taking visitors right now.
We are inquisitors from the Queen.
Right. I will inform him, but I assume he will likely still say the same.
He'll have to take it up with the Queen then.
I'm sure he will. And it turns. You watch him unlock the door, open it. A minute or so goes by. The door opens up again. The guard steps back out. Lord Nico will see you, apparently.
Yeah, can I insight that? That seemed a bit strange.
Hmm.
Sure. Roll an insight check. I mean, no reason to think otherwise. What do you wish to do?
Okay, yeah.
Let in, yeah.
Okay. You step into this room, which is significantly better than the other rooms that you've seen. There's a large rug on the ground. Again, this 4-poster bed that seems to be split off with like a half wall in the room. A large wooden tub that looks over out of a window across the marketplace. A set of wardrobes and dressers. It's very well furnished and is. There's this chandelier that gives off this warm light and a crackling fire, and you can see Nico, who is sat by the fire, kind of sipping a glass of wine as he sees you enter. Friends, please, grab a seat or a stool around the fire. There's some drinks here if you wish. Tea, coffee, wine, perhaps.
Definitely wine.
No drink for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'm just gonna drag a stool up and perch on it.
Okay. You feel warmed by the fire in this, very, very cold, snowy temperature out on the outside. You can see like snowflakes hitting the glass and the frosted edges of the window. It is very, very chilly.
Bitterly cold.
Indeed. So, what brings you to my room, guests?
We were wondering if you had any information about the day of the explosion.
Oh, very interesting. I believe we discussed this yesterday.
We did.
Did we?
Not in great detail, though. We were in the open space, if you remember.
Of course. Well, no room in the town hall is necessarily as quiet or as peaceful as the locations that I showed you yesterday.
I can check if
Kind of
you'd
takes a
like.
sip of wine and kind of meets your gaze at the street.
Insight. Outline
Okay.
this guy no more.
Okay, roll an insight check.
Can I? So from this insight check, from his demeanor when we first walked in, does it look like he's trying to be overly friendly because he was spying on us?
He's very, very hard to read. He just seems to be being friendly, and from that insight of what he just did, you kind of take that to mean you get the impression that he's indicating that people can just listen in. So all it would take would be someone to put their ear against the door.
Walls are thin.
Walls are thin. That's what you kind of get.
Okay.
I may be able to make it more private. We will.
In what sense?
By using the powers that the god gave me.
Of course, if the divine wish this conversation to be private, who are we to deny that?
Exactly. And I click my fingers and I cast silence.
Okay.
And
The
then-
room goes silent.
There we go. They can hear us in the silence.
Are you sure about that?
Isn't that how it works?
Sorry, did we
Silence.
actually, I think we
Silence makes a bubble of silent. It's to stop people from being. You can use it to. Let me just double check.
I think if you're inside it, you can hear
Any
the
creature inside the
noise can't go
sphere is
out.
immune to the.
Yeah.
Yeah, noise can't go
Yeah.
out.
Just
Okay,
we
I
would have
see.
to be in the bubble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone just hit the mute button on our Discord and wrote in game live.
So, okay, in which case then that you can hear each other. I don't see any difference.
It mutes us from the outside world.
Oh, very interesting.
Yes.
I think we need to be very direct with you on this one. We need to know who these allies you mean, because we have caught somebody trying and watching us in our room through magical means. If it's not the case of an ally, then we also have enemies who know the arcane.
That is troubling.
Can I insight that?
Oh, I'm gonna insight
Absolutely, go ahead. Go
How
ahead.
many insights have we had today? Jeez.
When you
So many.
say
Not
enough.
intrigue,
Never enough insights.
when you say that, when you say magical, what do you mean?
Oh!
Oh, whispers.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was a whisper. Roll.
I thought it
No,
was.
no.
Ah.
So,
When I mean that, I mean somebody had put something in our room known as a scry.
Alsa and Asrin, as you watch him, he seems very, very interested in what you've got to say. Like, there's kind of this very keen interest. Kind of leans in and listens very intently to what Storm's saying.
I suppose we're able to, like, if he's interested, like he's never heard it before, or is it like he's just interested?
That's what you deduce is what I've told you.
Alright, cool.
Are you willing to be forthright with us? Now you are.
Of course. I mean, if we're in this, if you speak the truth, then this is indeed a bubble of quietness. Is that what you said? Then we have no fear for others to see. But if you say that you are being spied on by magical means, how can we be sure that we are not being spied on in here? Does it work inside here?
I can check if you'd like.
Please.
Eldritch Sight.
Okay. Look around. I mean, you see like the blinding magic of the silence, but other than that, you don't see anything that resembles what you saw before.
Alright, note to self, do that outside of the bubble next time. We are good.
Okay, Kensei. So please go ahead.
You go ahead. This is what we are asking. We would wish for you to be forthright about who this ally of the arcane is.
Oh. I thought that you would understand my hint. It is me. I am your ally. I just cannot be particularly vocal about it in court is what my... I apologize. Perhaps it is maybe a regional thing. I didn't know if maybe my sense of I can't think of the word now. My analogy might not you might not understand it. It could be like a diversity thing. Like you might not understand what my
we got it was you, but I think we all kind of assumed that maybe there were others, but perhaps we were mistaken.
Oh, I see. Well, if there are, then I have not talked with them. That is kind of also what I was trying to say was, if they do exist, they will not be open about it.
Yeah.
I only feel comfortable to do so because of my position.
Are there any ways?
Which is still tedious, you know.
Are there any ways we may find out who is and isn't an ally?
Beyond spying on everyone, it would be very difficult. There are many, many members of court, and if one of them catches you doing so, it could end up worse. You don't want to make more enemies than find allies. That is the last thing you would want to do.
Yes, I agree.
You wouldn't happen want to listen in to our conversations, would you now, Nico?
Well, believe me, I think I would love to listen into the kind of conversations that you have. I'm sure they are very, very interesting. But unfortunately, I don't have the means of doing so.
When I cast my detect magic Did any,
Insight check
did
that
any-
if you want.
when I cast my detect magic, did anything
Can I
on
just do an insight check every 1 minute, just to be consistent?
Yeah, I'm gonna do
that. No, you're gonna do it. You have to tell me because it has to be on certain things.
Okay. How do I roll? Suck when it's not
I mean,
doing
he
something.
seems a lot more open now that the zone of or whatever it is, the silence spell is up. He feels a little bit more comfortable joking around, maybe, and talking more openly about it.
You don't have the means, you say.
No.
What is that? If you are arcane adept then, or?
Oh, no, not at all. I just, I mean, it would be interesting. I'm just thinking out loud.
May I ask you a question?
Please, go ahead.
Where did you say you were on the night of the incident again? I believe we talked about this the other day. I just don't remember what you said.
Oh, sorry, this is just me pausing.
Yeah.
I'm just checking something.
My heart is still beating. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, I've got to check. Oh, my heart is. I am. Yeah, I am
I'm
still
alive.
I'm still alive.
The second heart stopped.
Okay. Aria and Outstream, what are your passive perceptions?
19.
Just out of curiosity. 19.
19? Jesus!
Yeah, I had a feeling. Oh, your sheet says it's 15.
Yeah, it won't let me change it because of expertise
Oh,
in my
right.
paths. It's 19.
You should be able to change it in the options. If you go to options, it should let you add expertise.
Mine is
to it. But
18.
I don't know if it. Okay.
18 and
Fucking
9.
hell.
Okay.
Observers always.
Okay. So, Ashrin and Aria kind of listen to this conversation, getting warmed by the fire. Aria,
Yep.
you notice, like, you can't really focus on it. You think you'd have to look in a bit more detail, but you see what looks like tufts of maybe like hair or fur, kind of on the edge of the fireplace. As well as maybe a piece of paper in the back.
Okay.
As in, like, a letter?
Just see a piece of paper in the back, kind of like it seems to be wedged behind a piece of wood at the back of the fire.
Do I notice that Aria's
fireplace.
Can I ask a quick question?
I'm
as
gonna
well?
say, in the midst of this conversation, this is her just kind of noticing it and seeing it.
Do we still have psychic whispers up? Is that still a thing?
ask, yeah.
Yeah, it's up for 8 hours.
You do, yeah.
Can I ask a question? When I did my detect magic, did anything on Nico's person light up?
No.
Okay. Alright.
No.
Did he answer the question and say where he was on the night?
He didn't. So I was looking for something at that point. So, retracting that. I was here in my room. I have a few people that can vouch for me if that is what you're asking. I take it you're doing a line of inquiry.
Of course, of course. We have to ask everybody these questions.
Of course. It would be suspicious if you didn't.
Just that, well. Was it him that the Duke said it was?
Hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we know of someone who might have seen you in the marketplace.
Oh, I see. Well, that is very likely. I like to have my evening strolls. I like to peruse the town, you know. I am
room.
only human. I have my pleasures. See, yeah, for most of the night, yes. It is a little embarrassing. I didn't really want to openly talk about it, but, you know, I have...
Well, with
As a
silence.
man, I have my needs, and...
Oh, you were just
and
getting
there are those that can vouch for me. I'm not sure you would like to
Fair enough.
hear their testimony as to what we were doing.
Nah, you're good.
Yes, I see.
We won't ask any of
I
those
thought
questions.
that
What's
might
safe
be your
word?
answer.
Back to a more discreet topic.
Please.
Can I ask what your interest in magic is? Where it stems from?
My interest in it?
Yes, you are an advocate for it.
I was about to ask the same thing.
That is an interesting question. I can't really pinpoint a time. Perhaps less interest and more an understanding that it is kind of like trying to escape a encroaching wave. You can run and run, but it will eventually catch you. I just have an understanding that it exists, it will come, and there's not much we can do to resist it.
Can I insight that?
Absolutely, roll an insight check.
At least there's one person who sees it that way.
I was beginning to think the entirety of
Okay, so, L3.
I read this boy's
He-
mind.
He's talking a lot about it. You can't figure out what it is about him, but something tells you that what he is saying is true, but there is something more. Almost like you can see him trying to bite his tongue a little bit.
Do you have any natural gifts as a child?
Natural gifts?
Yes, some children find that they are more inclined to the ways of magic.
I could write poetry,
But
but
nothing.
no, unfortunately not. I don't really recollect anyone having such gifts. Although there was one story,
well,
but it didn't end very well.
story
What happened?
of who?
Well, the only story that I know of a human, one of my people, who was born with some sort of innate magical ability, blew up her house and killed her family.
Oh.
Nothing, I'm not going to say anything.
I recognize that.
Yeah, I recognise that as well.
Yeah.
I think it is what it is.
Are we recognising?
You won't recognise it, unfortunately, Mayor,
Okay.
because it was pre-online.
Oh, right.
They might explain it later. Who knows? If they remember. See.
Magic.
Yes, a very large shame that perhaps if I guess it is another example of if we understood magic, perhaps that child could have been helped rather than the tragedy of what happened.
It is volatile, but can be controlled. Like you say, with
Precisely.
understanding and education, all of this senseless hatred for it is stomped out.
Precisely.
Well, thank you for your time.
There's a knock at the door.
I dispelled the silence.
Okay. One of the guard kind of walks in and says, "Lord Nico, the Queen would like to have a meeting with you." See, I forgot the time. Apologies, friends. This shouldn't take long. Feel free to help yourself to a drink. Mi casa tu casa, the like. Please. Kind of gets up, straightens out his robes. He will see you shortly.
Good luck.
And makes for the door. Oh, I am overjoyed to be in the presence of Her Majesty.
When he says,
Makes his way to the door.
make yourself, I literally just grab the wine and start pouring it in the glass.
Okay. He makes his way out the room and the door
As
closes.
soon as that
Soon
boy's
as that
gone,
door
you know
shuts.
what's going on.
Investigate!
Okay.
What is that
Rummage.
piece of paper by
Yes.
the way?
Okay, you want to go? You want to get the paper from the
I
fire?
would Alistair just
Ooh,
dive in
I
it.
want you
Fire.
to roll me a dexterity check.
Check for traps. Check for traps.
Roll me a dexterity check, Aria.
I've already said I'll do it. So... Just straight dexterity, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
+9.
As you reach in and grab
12.
the
Wait, that's
the-
a save. Sorry, that's a save.
it is a save.
Sorry.
Yeah, roll me a check. I'll allow it because it was the wrong roll.
Thank God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah, you should be saying that because as you pull the letter out, you manage to avoid it being burnt by the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a fail safe.
And there's a moment of flicker of that 12 where the flame almost laps against the paper, but you whip it out. So are you just getting the letter?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
knowledge.
Okay.
Information.
Secrets, I love it.
Okay.
Into my veins.
So as you shit.
That's the shit.
So it says.
As we
Okay.
shit.
Okay. I will actually give. I'll just give it to you. So Aria, you pick up this letter.
Oh God.
Look in your journal,
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
Read it to us.
Read it.
and you can
Read it out
read it out loud.
Read it to me in the passionate, sexy
Is it the
Italian
one-
voice.
Is it the Aguera?
Yep.
That one? Is
Yep.
it? Okay.
Ooh.
Gosh. All right.
If it is him, he's going to see the queen now.
Okay. Okay. Can I zoom in? Can I not zoom in?
You
Oh,
can
yeah,
click on
you
it and
can
it
click
should
on
open.
Okay, right. I'm just gonna read it normally because I can't read as is. How do you pronounce it? Aguera?
Aguera.
Aguere.
Aguere?
Aguera.
Yeah.
Aguere. Time is of the essence. Bladestone was compromised and its asset taken. Skio has informed that the attack was undertaken by a seemingly unaffiliated group that entered through the tunnels. Fortunately, it appears they did not uncover the vital research there. As such, all operations are being moved from Bladestone immediately. Be sure to cease any contact there. Attached is a rendering of the attackers. Be warned, they used magic, working with speed and deception. They must have gathered their information about our laboratory somewhere, and we must continue with the assumption they may strike again. Whilst this should have little impact on your work within the Verlamese court, it does raise considerable time pressure. Considering your recent letters regarding this new ship, we have decided to entrust you with the delicate task. It is imperative that the new vessel fail its maiden voyage. See to it that it does, however you see fit. We cannot afford to unite before our work is complete.
Are we reading it out loud? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm reading out loud, but in a quiet,
loud.
hushed voice. Proceed with caution. It is just as vital that you do not compromise your position in the court. The secrecy of our group is of the utmost importance. Let me remind you of that. Destroy this letter upon receiving it. Doctrina et Vitrus Vigilia.
The fucking institute, isn't it? Is that what
Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine
the
the one that was experimenting on
Yeah,
making.
yeah. Yeah,
This is-
he-
that's
he-
an
that's
extra
why
magic.
that
Wait,
explains
let's
his
go
interest.
To the fucking queen, lads. Get the boy arrested.
All right, guys, time for
Okay.
our movie moment. Bust down the door.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
there is something else in there.
Yes.
There is something
Can I
else in
investigate
the
the room?
fireplace.
Can I investigate the room?
Can I also,
You can roll an
I'm
investigation
just
check.
going to point out to anyone who's interested, what do you make of those hairs there on the carpet?
I grab the hairs and I hold them up to the storm.
They appear to be blonde hairs.
Blonde hairs.
He is blonde. He is blonde.
Is
Can I have a look at, like, I'm just gonna take a little bunch of them and have a look, see if I can, I don't know, maybe if they match, I might be able to work
Roll
out
a
where they're
roll a
from,
nature check.
or...
Roll a nature check.
Can I also?
I think we need to prioritize getting to the queen right now.
Yeah.
Okay. They, as best you can tell, they are not from an animal. If anything, they do not seem natural.
He might be
They
wearing
don't look like human.
bigger disguise, possibly, but it doesn't matter. We need to get to the queen right now.
Yeah. Then you
I
said there
don't
was
know
something
what
else?
that
You said
check.
there was something else? Ewan?
That was it.
Oh, I see.
Your investigation
I'm-
check. You look around as Arya's kind of like reading out this letter. You begin to like look around the room, see if you can find anything. Nothing else of note stands out to you, Storm.
Well, Aria's reading note. Can I just use detect magic to make sure there's no scrying eye?
Sure. Roll.
Oh, it's detect magic. I'm using detect.
Yeah, you can detect magic. Yeah. Are you using it as a slotted spell or a ritual?
Yeah, slot spell.
Okay. You cast detect magic. You do not see that
Okay.
scrying eye.
So this brings to attention then.
So I'm gonna. I wanted to put it onto a break, but we're so close. As you kind of we have a little bit of time to discuss. I really need to run to the toilet.
Go, dude, go.
We're
Awful.
I need to go as well.
whatever we
We're taking this straight to the queen.
Yeah,
whatever we
yeah.
have to discuss, we need to discuss on the way to him because
Yeah.
there's nothing in here about
I'm
killing the
kicking
queen.
I'm kicking that door open and being like,
Yeah,
yo,
there's
have we
nothing
got
in
a
here about
story
him
for you?
being told to hurt the queen. But I think like he might people who are cornered do like unreasonable shit.
We have to remember here though that it could not been of him who was watching us.
question.
Someone from the institute would not use magic.
Story.
So they would
about
use magic,
the-
wouldn't they?
The woman of the house blowing up. That was.
I thought. Hang on. Can I need a reminder on the institute's motivations here. I thought the institute were in
They were
favour of
experimenting on
magic.
mages.
They
They were
despise.
experimenting on mages.
Exper-
We had
yeah,
to rescue Orilla, remember? Orilla was being experimented on.
They
she was
use
a prisoner.
anti-magic shackles, anti-magic
Yeah.
like rooms.
Yeah, but
that
also
they-
the main guy also used magic as well. Though.
I-
So I think they're sort of like
Yes.
trying to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
thought they were
used-
mages. I thought they were just like mage scientists that just had no morals, so they didn't care about experimenting.
So why
Yeah,
would they
that-
lock up other mages?
Yeah, well, they
to
don't care.
experiment with magic.
They're just like experiments to
They're-
them.
Whoa,
I think
okay.
that-
Go on, Hayden, you go. You've been trying to speak for ages. Go.
I was gonna say I think their goal is to like understand magic and also get the raw power within magic. So they just capture powerful mages to see if they can
Yeah.
like get their magic, while also using anti-magic shackles on them so they can't escape.
But then here's the thing: is that the kind of thing we want to be revealing to Celia?
Well, so this is the thing, because like if we reveal it, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of backdraft on
That's
magical
what I mean.
people. and-
Yeah.
But if we don't, then magic might go through, but under the control of the institute, and Nico gets away with everything.
Yeah.
No, he won't get away with it because he blew up. He's the one that sabotaged the ship.
Yeah, and
Wait,
when the
don't
queen
have
asks him
evidence
why he
that-
did it, what do you think he's going to say?
Yeah.
He won't.
And also the evidence that we have is about the institute and everything, so we're gonna have
Yeah.
if we use that evidence, we're gonna have to tell Cecilia about the institute, and then.
It happened in Bellinor. It didn't happen in Verloom.
True.
No, but like she's afraid of She has to be publicly, at least. She has to be
It
afraid
says
of magic.
in the letter that we cannot allow the ship to succeed.
Yes.
It's
so-
incriminating evidence that he was involved with the blowing up of the ship.
100%.
Yeah, oh yeah, he absolutely
Yeah,
did.
We need to go.
That's not in
we need to go
question.
to the queen now.
Okay, so in this moment, what do you wish to do?
For the queen!
Queen,
I
yes!
feel like it's going to backfire, but we have to show
Okay.
it. We have to.
We have to.
So
Yeah, we
you
have-
make your way down to the kind of like the throne room, like the main chamber of which there is that kind of like little throne area. as you make your way down towards one of the side doors, coming down from the stairs, guards kind of see you approaching and they say, "Halt! Halt! The Queen is in the middle of having an audience with Lord Nico. You may not enter."
It's urgent, and it's about Lord Nico. It's urgent.
In what sense?
In the sense that he's a traitor.
What happened yesterday? You need to tell us
Roll
straight now.
me a persuasion
you
check.
both move.
Oh, is that a threat? Is that an intimidation check?
Kind of.
Okay, roll me. Right, okay, well, first of
Right,
all,
who's rolling what?
this is now. Yeah, okay, Ashley's already rolled it.
She's already rolled it.
That's alright. That is fair enough because I did say that beforehand.
While my
I told her to roll before. It's fine.
again.
It's fine. It's fine. The urgency. Okay, so you, the guy kind of looks at you. Very well. The Queen could be in danger. He opens up the door and walks in. You, as he opens the door and steps in, you can see inside the chamber. A number of guards are still in there, and the Queen sat on the throne. It seems to be in the middle of a conversation with Lord Nico, and she kind of looks up.
Everybody bow.
We do a long
I bow.
Her eyes kind of dart towards the to the guard. I believe I said that I was only taking Lord Nico's audience. What is the meaning of this insolence?
Kind of
Speak.
like, Aria, do you want to...
Oh,
This one.
Your Royal Highnessness, do I have a present for you? And I hold up the letter. Would you like to read it?
I'd like to look at Nico as
Okay, roll an insight check, Storm. You disrupt an audience with one of my most trusted advisors to read a letter?
Oh, trust me, Your Highness.
I was
you're
doing the same. I was
want
keeping
to
around
read it.
Nico as well.
You're going to want to read it. I think you might find it very enlightening about recent
I would like you to tell me
circumstances.
right now why you are in here, why you have disrupted, and why my guard here has allowed you to enter.
Your Majesty, that man is dangerous. Please, if you read this letter, it will become clear to you.
Storm, you can see Nico's looking across. You can see his eyes kind of moving as if he's like thinking.
I'm keeping my eye on Nico.
Okay, cool.
If he does
the
anything, I'm
Queen.
going to react.
Okay.
The
Queen.
I'm insight checking him as well, just to make sure.
Okay. Well. Okay. Well. I mean, you just see him looking around. The Queen kind of turns to Arya and says, "Well, this is rather quite interesting, actually.
Very.
For Lord Nico was just telling me how I should be curious about you. Perhaps we can. Perhaps we can have a conversation about this and get to the bottom of whatever is happening here. Step forward, all of you.
shuffles forward.
Lord Nico, stay there. You're kind of like stood next to him at this point. Like maybe a foot or so distance between whoever's like on the end of your little clump or line. So, enlighten me.
Majesty, as you know, we have been tasked with finding someone who would want to destroy the ship that the people of Porta Minor worked so hard on, and in our investigations we have come across a letter that is incriminating evidence against Lord Nico. It is proof written to him. Please, Arya, could you enter the letter?
He seems to go with a different name, but
As you kind of step up, one of the guards kind of puts his halberd out. Retracts the halberd. You may approach.
I approach.
She takes a letter from you and reads it. How very interesting. Your Majesty, what does it say?
I guess it's changed its
It
content.
seems very incriminating, Lord Nico. Tell me, where exactly did you find this?
Lord Nico's chambers. You were there moments ago with him before he came to see you.
Guards can testify.
Lord Nico, what do you say to this? Your Majesty, it is very clear. I cannot hold my tongue any longer. These people you have allowed into your court are using their wizardry and magics to manipulate and deceive you. It is clear. Allowing them to step in could explain their arrival coinciding with the destruction of a ship by no explainable reason. It is very curious. And now they present you with a supposed letter that incriminates me moments after I come to you to discuss my suspicions of them myself. Fascinating, isn't it, Your Majesty? It is quite interesting. Perhaps you have something else to offer me? Looking to you guys.
That to us. If I may, I might be able to make this a lot easier for all of us. If you allow me to use the powers that the god gave me. You can have a guard hold a spear to my throat. It makes you feel more comfortable.
I know what this is.
That won't be necessary.
Okay.
Your Majesty, please. We do not know what they are capable of.
Oh, why?
Okay, you're casting it.
Oh,
Okay,
They're
so you
gonna die.
begin.
They're actually going to kill you.
They're gonna fucking
Wait,
kill
You
us.
begin the incantation.
Divine magic's not as.
No,
Yeah.
but she did it
Divine
against
magic's
the
not
Queen's
bad.
wishes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was allowing it.
No, she said that won't
she-
be necessary.
No, she said that won't be necessary as the blade to his throat.
Yeah.
You can cast it.
Guys,
Oh,
guys,
okay.
calm down,
Okay.
calm down, calm down.
Is that
Just a
you
miscommunication.
Yes, I know, it's
Okay.
stressful, but calm down.
Breathe, guys, breathe. Okay, so you cast it. He has to make a saving throw, right?
I think it's wisdom, yeah.
It's wisdom,
Yeah.
I think.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm just seeing what mine is.
I pray he fucking fails.
Oh, I knew.
I don't know if he will. He's
The
like smart
question
dude.
is whether or not you know that he fails.
Yeah.
I think you might.
Yeah, I
we
would
know that if he says it's us, we know he's lying.
Yeah.
Does it say on the spell?
on a failed save, the creature can't. On a failed save, the creature can't speak a lie.
But what does it say? They have to make
I'm
a.
reading it. Done a true 50 feet. Until the spell ends, the creature ends. Doesn't say any. Must make
it should say-
a charisma saving throw.
Okay, charisma. Okay.
Charisma, I thought it was.
Oh no, he's gonna have high charisma. He's a liar.
He fails.
Oh.
And what
Yeah,
I have
in
done
the universe.
is I have allowed it that everyone within this area cannot speak a lie. If you would like to ask some questions again, we will
First,
tell you nothing but the truth.
let us get the queen to try and tell us a lie, so she knows it works.
He's gonna reveal anything.
The thing
Well-
is, I don't really
If
know
you'd like to test it out.
anything about you, so I'm going to keep this simple. You, and she points at you, Storm. I want you to tell me that you are a human.
I mean, does Storm have to fail the charisma check, or can he willingly say?
I think you can choose to fail checks.
Yeah, you can choose to.
We have to choose.
No,
to fail, yeah.
I would say, I am not a human.
Yes,
I am.
but this is a little problematic because you could be lying to me about the spell.
I am tobacco.
I mean the miracle.
I am a tabaxidon, and this is the truth. There is no other truth up to it.
You need
True,
to have
fact. Yeah.
all due
If the
respect.
queen tries to tell a lie and can't, then
She's not in the zone. I
She's
think.
not.
15 feet.
She's standing next to Thingy Bob, isn't
15
she?
foot radius.
It's not yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not an active zone. I think it's like a. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is a zone.
I thought she was
Yeah, it's a
standing
15
next
foot,
to
zone.
Nico. Was
Does it?
She's on
Hold
the
on, I need to
throne.
check. I need to check the actual wording of this because this is because it will.
I have a question we could ask.
You
at this
I don't
point.
know if it's like.
There it
Okay,
is.
yeah, it's a duration 10 minutes. Create magical
Same thing
zone.
on a pawn.
Okay. Oh, radius sphere. Okay.
Mm.
I always thought it was a cone. That's.
No.
I'm getting zone and cone mixed up. Okay. So the spell ends. A creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn. Charisma saving throw. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay. So she is gonna step forward cautiously. The guards kind of having their weapons at hand. She steps into the zone, and she chooses to fail. This is an odd sensation.
You have the tingles, yeah.
My favorite color is green.
Pretty
You have
cool.
my attention. You see, for the first time, Nico gulp. She steps back and sits back on the throne. Lord Nico.
I knew I should prepare that. I knew it. Sorry.
Lord Nico. Are the contents of this letter true or false? I need to check the fucking spell again.
I don't think they have.
It's up.
It's,
It's up in the.
it's a funny
the thing.
wording.
They. On a failed save, the creature can't speak a deliberate lie while it's in a radius. You know
Deliberate
whether the creature
lie.
succeeds or fails the saving throw. The affected creature
Okay,
is aware
okay.
of the spell and can thus avoid answering the question.
Yeah, they don't have to answer. That's it.
Okay. Your Majesty, I do not trust these people.
No, that's true. But that was obvious.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't the answer to the
Lord
question.
Nico, I need a yes or no answer. Are the contents of the letter presented to me true? Doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Silence speaks words.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Nico, your silence would suggest guilt.
It is deafening.
Lord Nico, are you responsible for the destruction of our ship? Lord Nico is going to begin to walk to the side.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He,
Not
he,
out of the zone.
he,
Not out
he-
of the zone.
Your Majesty, he's just gonna keep walking. He's not listening to you.
Guards, if he tries to move out of the zone.
Your Majesty, he is trying to.
Do not tell my guards what to do. You may have presented me with information, but you do not have the authority to talk for me. Back in line. Remember your place here.
Majesty, might I use a wand of binding?
Of course not. I warned you what would happen. Nico? Stand next to the cleric. If you leave his side, she kind of glances across the Kensei, then the guards will have their authority to take action. She kind of stares at Nico once again. I do not wish to have to repeat myself. Your Majesty. This is an unfortunate circumstance. See, I am responsible. But you should know, Your Majesty, that these people have attacked places in Bellinor. They have wrought destruction there, and they will do so here. Oh! Am I lying? No. Perhaps you would like to tell them about the destruction in Bellinor, where that came from. Eh? Why are the Foifortians in Bellinor, Your Majesty? Is it because of a freak accident, or were there more things at play? I have been watching them, Your Majesty. I've heard their discussions. They wish to bring magic here. They wish to change the face of our country.
And you are watching us through magic yourself.
Sometimes the best way to destroy a fire is to burn at the other end.
I've tried that myself, and it only leaves you more burnt than those you've burned.
I will hear no more of this. Lord Nico, by order of the Crown, you are arrested. Guards, I wish you to take him to the Porta Minor dungeon. Keep him held there, and we will see what to do with him after. Get him out of my sight.
Yes.
As the guards come over and put clamps around his arms behind his back, grabbing on his shoulder and directing him, he kind of turns to you and comes kind of very, like, I mean, he's right next to you, Alistair, at this moment. He turns and he just smiles. You don't know what fire you've just started. And they take him away.
I guess I'll just have to find out.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said, I can't wait to find out.
Actually, he can't lie. They take him out. The Queen turns to you. You have proven yourselves loyal. And you have expunged a cancer in my court. For that I thank you. We had an agreement. And I will see to honoring that. I will consider your offer. I will consider it seriously. But it is more complicated than merely having a conversation right here, right now. I will return to the capital. I will gather my lords, my dukes, and assemble my court. And there we will begin to discuss. I cannot promise you anything. But you have made a valid case. And you have proven that you are loyal, whether it be to this crown solely or not. You are loyal to the people of the coast.
Guys, come on.
I thank you. Guys, come on.
Thank you for listening and hearing us out, Your Majesty.
She just kind of nods towards you.
How will we know when you've come to your decision?
You will be informed. Where would be best to reach you? Do you have an established place of residence?
We are a little bit nomadic.
Yes, but our next stop on our
Yes.
journey is Deep Bay.
I
So
see.
I don't know if there is a post office or something there. I don't know.
There are means of sending information.
We're gonna get the Skyrim messenger guy who comes up to us.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But we will be heading to Deep Bay next, yes, so that is probably the best bet for the near future.
We'll probably be meeting with the High King there, so you could send it to the... Or would that be dangerous?
You mean the High Lord?
High Lord.
The High Lord Theodore.
Very well.
Yes.
Well, I wish you luck on your voyage. Sorry. Yeah, it's not you interrupting. I understand that.
Sorry. If you are acquainted with Lord Theodore, in order to be able to reach us sooner and more efficiently, you might be able to perhaps write us a little permission slip.
Maybe some gold with that.
I don't think that's... We've done enough here. I need that.
I think I have been more than fair. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cecilia. Queen Cecilia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Well, I suppose with that, this audience is adjourned. She kind of gets up, adjusts her gown, and steps down, and exits through some doors.
Oh, I need a drink.
Back to the tavern, I think.
Yes.
This begs the question though, why did the Institute not want that ship to sail? I'm thinking about it.
They want progress to
I
follow.
think we're going to find out.
If I had to guess, they probably want progress for this country to follow only on their terms.
Well, this comes back to my first thought, that there was something magically driven about the ship.
Sorry.
And if that were true, do you think the Queen would want it to settle out here? I whisper that in Storm's ear.
You would say that again?
That mind stuff is still active.
Oh, I say that through the I say that through the mental thing. Because I had to Storm is like, if that were true, do you think the Queen would want that settled out here?
Is it possible that it was all just a convoluted plan to blame us?
This is true
Possibly.
too.
Could just be the Institute's revenge.
If he's been watching us all this time, he would have known when we were coming into
Indeed.
Portamina.
Seems rather excessive.
The Institute seem like excessive people.
No, but they planned to blow up the ship if separately blaming us was just convenient.
Hmm.
Well, yes.
Let's head back to the tavern and talk about this rather than
We're
talking
doing
about it in the middle of the
we're doing it
room.
in heads. We're doing it in our heads.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it's my name.
Us is just standing there, just like,
It's pretty
why aren't we
awesome.
moving?
We're all walking along and I think
I know they are. I mean, they are kind of looking at you, and
Yeah,
someone does say, "I think it's time that you left."
I love the idea that the guards are
gonna
escorting us,
close
and they're
the
just
tavern.
like, God, these bunch of stoic badasses. Look, they're not saying anything. And in our heads, we're just like, God, we need a fucking drink.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Well, as you head out of the town hall, you can see the sun beginning to set. Snowfall still kind of around the town, and as you head back to the tavern, I think we'll end the session there.
Wow, I didn't think we'd come to the bottom of it. at the
Yeah, I
end.
didn't think it would be today. I thought maybe.
Yeah.
And I hoped we would, because I was like, okay, if we're here for like the same amount of
I
time,
am
it's like just
so
one vampire player, we're gonna be here for like
Happy
10
I
years.
prepared Zone of Truth.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was the game changer. That would have been a very, very difficult social encounter
It would have.
if you had not had that prepared.
Mate, like, the moment he said he was a charisma roll, though, I was like, oh no. He's a politician. His charisma's gonna be through the roof.
He did roll. He rolled a 2 though.
Oh,
Thank
God,
God.
so lucky with that.
We're living in the good
Ah.
timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
So far,
that is crazy.
we haven't entered the darkest timeline yet.
Wow, I really am a little bit. I'm definitely surprised that you survived that.
Mate, it's like we got experience.
No,
this
I'm
time.
not. I'm obviously joking. But yeah, like, very well done.
Thank you.
Uh,
I don't know how he did it either.
Mate, if we hadn't
I mean,
seen
it was
that-
very amusing.
if we hadn't seen that slip of paper, like,
Oh my God, yeah.
If
If we
I
hadn't seen
hadn't
that.
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it, thank you very
Oh yeah,
much.
but,
With
oh,
your
yeah.
perception that allows you to
Like,
literally see through dimensions.
reality.
of reality.
Aria's actually like
Oh my
Deadpool. She's fully aware that she's a character in a game and just goes with it.
I had a twin brother who played pranks on me growing up. Of course, I'm perceptive.
Okay, so with that, we're going to end the session there. So thank you very much for joining us and seeing the antics of a intrigue-based few sessions. I wonder what lies next.
I wonder too. Cool.
I want to get to combat.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got well, I mean, you happen to you avoided several combat encounters there, so
It's good because it would have been very incriminating to
Yeah, for sure.
fight the law and kill lords.
all right. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Stay dirty.
Bye.
Stay filthy.
Because this stream is filthy.
Uh.